Tonight, deep in the heart of Texas, the Red Sox face the Astros in Houston in Game 1 of a 3-game series. It's the start of a 5-game road trip as the Sox look to get on a roll. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Minute Maid Park. Delighted you're with us. I'm Dave O'Brien. My partner is Steve Lyons. And Steve, yesterday the Red Sox, a very tough loss to end the homestand at 4-6. Trying to shake that off tonight. Whatever happened yesterday was not the fault of Dustin Pedroia. He had 3 hits and a home run, and those home runs for Petey tend to come in bunches.
Yes, they do. When he heats up at the plate, especially with the power, you could see 6 of them in a couple weeks. And this is a guy who I really think is at his best when he's using the entire field. And that's what he's been doing this year. He's going the other way. He's pulling the ball. Sometimes when he gets a little pull happy, the numbers start to go down a little bit. But boy, when he's hitting pitches like that and working counts to get himself pitches like that, he can be an awfully tough customer at the top of that lineup. And when you think about it, yesterday he became just the 10th member in Red Sox history with 1,500 hits, which is an amazing accomplishment. Maybe you would have thought there'd be more Red Sox down through time with 1,500 or more hits, but just 10 of them, and now Petey's one of them. That's amazing.
It is indeed. Well, Pedroia and the Red Sox trying to get back to 500 with a victory here tonight against the Houston Astros. This has got to be the cutest and the youngest Red Sox fan in the ballpark tonight. Knuckleballer Stephen Wright out with Game 1 with the ball, and the first pitch is coming up in just a moment on NESN. Baseball on NESN is brought to you by BuyAToyota.com, Toyota's website for deals. By Dunkin' Donuts, America runs on Dunkin'. By Subaru Retailers of New England, supplying award-winning all-wheel drive vehicles throughout New England. By DraftKings, the official one-day fantasy baseball partner of your Boston Red Sox. By the 2017 Kia Sportage. Visit anykiadealers.com to learn more. By Digital Federal Credit Union. See what DCU can save you. And by Southwest Airlines, transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. This will be David Ortiz's final visit to Houston, these 3 games, unless, of course, they meet here in October. So the Astros are honoring Big Papi tonight. A lot of Sox fans in the crowd for the pregame ceremony. We go to that just a few moments ago.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to recognize one of the greatest designated hitters of all time. In his 20 seasons in the majors, the 9-time All-Star has garnered 6 Silver Slugger awards and posted 506 career home runs. He is a 3-time World Series champion and the 2013 World Series MVP. He's left a long-standing impact on the game of baseball, both in the U.S. and Dominican Republic. Now, please help us welcome and honor Boston Red Sox designated hitter number 34, Big Papi, David Ortiz. Joining David on the field is Astros President of Business Operations, Reed Ryan. And Reed is going to present Big Papi with a personalized custom black Stetson cowboy hat from Pinto Ranch Premium Western Apparel Store. That looks good on you, David. Our congratulations and thanks for the memories, David Ortiz.
A Stetson for Big Papi and a great fit. And we'll be back for the lineups and the first pitch, Game 1, the Red Sox and the Astros, coming up next here on NESN. Boston Red Sox baseball in NESN is brought to you by your New England Ford dealers. Ford, go further. T-Mobile, get Major League coverage. T-Mobile has doubled its 4G LTE in the last year. BuyAToyota.com, Toyota's website for deals. And by LL Bean. It's a beautiful night here as the Astros are taking the field. The roof is open, and they're all thankful of that because they've had torrential rains here, terrible flooding around the city. It's a warm one. Temperatures are up around 80 degrees today. Time for a look at the Red Sox lineup now. It's brought to you by BuyAToyota.com, Toyota's website for deals. Mookie Betts will lead it off. He's in right. Dustin Pedroia at second. Xander Bogaerts at short. David Ortiz the DH. Hanley Ramirez at first. Travis Shaw at third with Brock Holt in left. Ryan Hannigan catching the knuckleballer. And Jackie Bradley is in center field and batting ninth. The Astros starting pitcher brought to you by McDonald's. I'm loving it. It's the right-hander Colin McHugh, 1-2, a 6.39 ERA. He's been very inconsistent so far, and pitching has been a major problem for the Houston Astros.
All right, let's check out the defense of the Astros, brought to you by DraftKings. Valbuena, Correa, Altuve, and White around the infield. In the outfield, Kobe Rasmus in left field, Gomez in center, Springer in right field. And there's your battery. Kratz doing the catching today, and Colin McHugh getting the start.
Tonight's umpire is brought to you by ToyotaCertified.com. Search for your factory-back Toyota Certified used vehicle right now. Adam Hamari is the home plate umpire. Tom Hallian is the crew chief at first. Tony Randazzo at second base. And Dan Bellino will make the calls over at third. Where available, this telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your TV remote. SAP presented by ToyotaCertified.com. Search for your factory-back Toyota Certified used vehicle right now. It's good to know the factory has your back. As mentioned, just a perfect night here. That's why the roof is wide open. 80 degrees, just a little bit of a breeze. The forecast is clear. The rains are supposed to return a bit over the weekend, but they can always close up that roof. Sox coming in at 7-8. And facing McHugh, who was a 19-game winner last year, but a high ERA to start tonight. Red Sox hope to add to that. And Mookie to climb in.
He's had a rough time with consistency, has McHugh.
After the first pitch, pop foul for a strike by Mookie. He's hitting .239, now up to 4 home runs to lead the ball club. But he has caught fire. 2 home runs the last 2 games, on base 6 times. Scored 5 runs in the last 2 games against Tampa Bay.
There's the cut fastball from McHugh. You're going to see a lot of those. This guy used to be a guy who used to throw a lot of 4-seam riding fastballs. He's pretty much abandoned that pitch in favor of the cutter.
He has one of the best curveballs in all of baseball. When it's good, it's really good. And he won't walk many.
He uses it as his out pitch, too. I mean, that's a pitch that not many guys throw anymore.
There's a shot to left center on his horse Gomez. He's going to watch that one carry, and it's going to clang right into that screen. Mookie taking a big turn. He wants 3 bases. Here's the throw to third, and it's misplayed. He makes a little collision there, but he stays at third base. And Mookie Betts putting a charge into the offense right away with a 3-base hit.
Wow. A lot of things going on that play right there. Number one, I don't know what Gomez is doing out there. He knows if this ball hits the chain link fence, it's not going to bounce back out. Watch how he stops short. That gives Mookie the idea, I'm going for third right now. And then here he comes out of the box. You know he's going to hustle into second. But because of Gomez's little gaffe, he says, now I'm going for third. And how about the throw from center field? My goodness, all the way from the wall, all the way into third base. A little bit of a short hop, but that was a seed he threw in there.
So the Red Sox trying to jump out in front right now. Here's Dustin Pedroia, who flicks one foul out of play. The Sox are second in scoring in the American League. Only Texas has scored more runs. Red Sox dropping 4 out of the last 5 after winning 3 in a row. So trying to even things out here. He took the 5-1 lead yesterday with David Price on the mound. There's the curveball, and he just gets a piece of it and fouls it away.
How about the way the ball jumps off of Mookie's bat? I mean, there's no way you take a look at Mookie Betts and you say this guy's power numbers are going to jump out at you, and they certainly do.
So you say to yourself, are we looking at a long-standing leadoff man? Eventually he's going to be down in the order, isn't he?
I think so. I mean, you know, he'll probably keep his speed. I'd like to see him be even more aggressive on the bases. But yeah, the way he swings the bat, you're going to want to put him in a position to drive in runs. Although it's tied for the lead.
Line shot, base hit, right center field, and the Red Sox are going to take the lead 1-0. Dustin Pedroia, who has also caught fire here in the last few days. You mentioned now 1,501 hits for Dustin.
That is classic Dustin Pedroia. We talked about it in the open. When he's going the other way, he's doing it all. He knows he just wants to get this ball into the outfield to drive into the run. He's not going to try to pull the ball. He's not trying to juice it. Just dump it into right field for the base hit and the RBI.
Sends up Xander Bogaerts, who looked great yesterday. 3 for 4. He was on base 4 times. He'll take a strike. Pretty good for a guy forced out of the game the night before with a tight quad.
Yeah.
Bounced back fast. Nice to be young.
Those healing powers of a good night's sleep.
And that one will be inside for a ball from McHugh. You mentioned how inconsistent he has been so far. He gave up 6 runs in a third of an inning at Yankee Stadium to open the season. Then beat Kansas City with 7 scoreless. And then he allowed 10 hits to the Tigers in his last start. So really up and down. And he misses.
Well, you talked about it too in the open. 19 wins last year.
Come on, Mac. Here we go. Come on, kid. Come on.
It was a real horse for them on their way to the postseason. But the Astros come into this one with a record of 5-11, tied for the worst record in the American League, and in there for a strike.
2 things everyone talking about around town is the bad weather and the flooding that this area has seen, which has been devastating, and the fact that the Astros are off to a terrible start after the great breakout season they had last year.
A.J. Hinch, their manager, 41 years old. 2-2. He thought about it and wisely stayed away from it.
That is the pitch that Bogey has to stay off of in order to be successful, and he learned it last year. Learned how to let that one go. We've seen him swing at a few of them this year when he went a little bit bad, but that ball down and away, you just can't swing at it. You're not going to hit it. Laying off of that's a great sign for him.
3-2, and he pops that one foul. That'll twist back off into the crowd. David Ortiz, who was styling moments ago at the brand new Stetson, is on deck. You were not a big fan of the gift. How come?
Should have given him the bowl.
Come back. Here we go.
They give him a cowboy hat. I know it's a Pinto Ranch custom Stetson.
We're in Texas.
I get it. That's all you've got.
3-2 again. Fly ball softly hit. Out goes Altuve, and it's dropping in for a base hit. Pedroia into second base, and he'll stop there. Little flare off the end of the bat. Gomez got a very late start on that.
And he's playing so deep. I mean, respecting the power of Bogaerts. It's such a huge outfield, but watch the jump. Look at him still standing there. We see it. He takes a step back. That was a great shot by our camera guys right there to show you that the ball was already out of the infield before Gomez really took a step, and then his first step was still backwards.
I mean, he's a Gold Glove outfielder, but off to a rocky start tonight.
He's off to a rocky start on this season.
A lot of their guys are. Well, here's Big Papi trying to do some damage right away. Red Sox in front 1-0. It's 3 consecutive hits to begin the night. David was 1 for 4 with a double yesterday, but he hit the ball really hard 3 times. And a curveball settles in for a strike. David was robbed twice of a hit in the loss to Tampa Bay. Red Sox really need to, as you look at the shift, really need to shake that one off quickly here.
So far they have. I do have to admit that David looked great in the hat.
He did. Fouled it back to the screen. He looks great in just about any hat we have come to find.
He likes to wear them too.
He was very impressed.
Don't you give the bad guys the black hats? Is that the way it still works in the Westerns? Bad guy wears a black hat, good guy wears a white. Oh, they must think he's going to come in here. He's just treated them so poorly every time he shows up.
We'll see how bad he is right now.
There we go. Look at that.
It's a great look.
I can't wear a cowboy hat, can you?
You kidding me? Too high. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
I look like Dudley Do-Right in a cowboy hat.
I look like Dudley's little brother. David, 506 home runs, and it's a good home run hitter's park here at Minute Maid. A little bit high, just missed.
So far, McHugh is a little bit off of his game, and the Red Sox aren't doing a darn thing to help him out. They're not swinging at borderline pitches. This is a pitch that David wants to just hammer, but it's a little bit out of his zone. He says, forget it. I'll wait for you to come back.
Pedroia at second, Bogaerts at first, and a run in.
David might want to get that bat head out in front of a cut fastball inside right here, maybe. Up, they went away.
And fills up the count. Fans, be sure to stop by Plain Ridge Park Casino. Plain Ridge Park Casino is the official sponsor of winning. Hanley Ramirez waiting on deck. 3-2 again. And he wouldn't chase. Ball 4. The bases are loaded, and McHugh hasn't gotten anybody out, facing the first 4 batters, and he's in trouble right away with Hanley coming up.
Excellent at-bats from the first 4 hitters in the lineup. Mookie just hammering a fastball. Dustin dumping one out there for a base hit and an RBI. Xander doing a great job of working counts, not swinging at bad pitches, and the same thing for Big Papi in that at-bat.
Brent Strom out, pitching coach, to figure out what is up with McHugh.
Take another look at that last pitch. Papi's not swinging at that.
So it's Pedroia at third, Bogaerts at second, Ortiz at first. And the Red Sox in attack mode right away here in Houston as Hanley gets in, hitting .258 with a homer. 1 for 5 yesterday. Ripped a line drive with 2 out in the ninth. It looked like it was about to give the Red Sox a 9-8 lead, and he takes ball 1, but it was caught.
There were so many elements of that game to talk about and things that went wrong for the Red Sox, but that was another turning point. That was an absolute laser he hit to the second baseman. That gets into the gap and keeps rolling. Runs are scoring. The inning continues.
And the Red Sox fought back so well to tie it at 8. It just felt like the momentum was churning that way until Forsythe hauled in that line drive. Now you have David Price on the mound. You're up 5-1. You figure it's ball game
over.
Pretty much.
Thanks for coming.
Check swing, and that's down low. You're absolutely right about the approach here. Very patient against McHugh.
That's the old school championship seasons of Red Sox hitters. Working counts, getting deep, getting into the other team's bullpen.
Well, you know, Chili Davis loves it. Hanley trying to turn it into something big. 1-0 Red Sox. Looking for more here right away.
He's going to put a charge into one if he lets one loose.
High fly ball, very high and deep to left, backing up Rasmus right there at the wall. He has room coming in now and make the catch. Pedroia will tag and he will score, and the Red Sox lead it 2-0 on the RBI by Hanley, who just missed a grand slam.
Yeah, and Hanley's upset with himself because he got the pitch that he wanted to. He knew that McHugh had to throw a strike. He's been all over the place. He's sitting dead red. He got it, and he just didn't square it up. Look at him loading up, and here we go, just out on the end a little bit.
In this ballpark, it doesn't take much. It's only 315 down the left field line.
Especially when you hit it that high, you can get it up over the wall there and into the Crawford boxes, but he'll take the sacrifice fly.
That was probably the saddest I've ever seen Hanley after an RBI.
He wanted 4 of them.
Came very close. Here's Travis Shaw. Runners at first and second with 1 man out. He'll pop that one up on the infield. Third baseman Valbuena there with the infield fly in effect, and he'll make the catch. So Travis Shaw pops up, and there are 2 gone. And it's up to Brock Holt to do a little more with this inning. Brock hitting .289 with 2 homers. He is 3 out of 8 against Colin McHugh.
I love Brock Holt in this situation. You just talked about a guy that can extend an inning. Colin McHugh, if he could get out of here giving up just 2 runs, he'd be happy loading the bases, nobody out. Brock Holt's one of those guys at the back half of the order that can still be a big thorn in your side. And if you give up a base hit to him right now, you're going to give up another run.
Hitting 7th. Bogarts at second. David Ortiz at first. And 2 runs in for Boston.
Talked about the patience of the hitters of the Red Sox so far. That's the most patient hitter in this Red Sox lineup, Brock Holt.
You like that one. Little looper toward left, coming on Rasmus, and he'll make the catch to retire the side. So the Red Sox out of the gate with 2 runs right away. Houston coming up, but 2-0 Boston, and Wright to take the mound. And a leadoff triple. Red Sox lead at 2-0 after a half inning. The Astros lineup brought to you by your New England Chevy dealers. Jose Altuve, the outstanding second baseman, leads it off. Then it's George Springer and Wright. Carlos Correa, the shortstop, followed by Colby Rasmus, Tyler White, and Evan Gattis, their DH. Gomez is in center, Valbuena at third, and Eric Kratz is the catcher. All up against Stephen Wright, who is 0-2 with a 2.13 ERA. So he's pitching very effectively with little run support.
He's had a couple of rough first innings in his starts. Other than that, outstanding.
Red Sox starting pitcher presented by your New England Audi dealers. He's been the tough luck guy so far. 2 strong outings, but 2 losses. He has allowed just 3 earned runs and walked only 3 in 12 2/3. But Wright has received all of 1 run of support while he was in the game. Cut and a miss there by Altuve.
If Stephen Wright has his good knuckleball going today, it's the Houston Astros' worst nightmare. They've been struggling, and then you have to face a guy like Stephen Wright with that pitch.
And they have struck out the second most times in the majors.
Oh, they are a swing and miss team, aren't they? They are all or nothing. They're going deep or they're striking out trying.
Altuve, a .311 hitter with 5 home runs. He's 5'6". He's already hit 5. He says he is surprised with the power. A little trickler foul.
We're talking about his patience this year. He's walking more.
These cold hard facts brought to you by Clean Crisp Coors Light. He has an 8-game hitting streak against the Red Sox. And hitting .514 during it.
It's pretty good.
Been a very tough out in the games against the Sox. Red Sox came here and were swept last July. So a little revenge on their minds here tonight. 2-2.
He's just such a good player, and with his size, he uses it as an advantage. He's got a very small strike zone, but you just can't pump it down the middle on a guy like him because he's got good power. He's got good gap power and excellent speed. So if he hits the ball, he's got a great chance of getting on.
That one drifting inside. So it's 3-2 on Altuve. Does have 7 stolen bases to lead the American League.
Got to make him swing his way on. Oh, that's
in
good.
There. He got him looking. Right on the edge to strike him out.
That's filthy right there. Here's the Red Sox defense brought to you by Southwest Airlines. In the infield, it's Shaw at third, Bogey at short, Pedroia over at second base, and Ramirez holding down the duties at first. In the outfield, Holt, Bradley Jr., and Betts. And your battery for today, of course, Hannigan doing the catching for Stephen Wright.
That'll send up George Springer.
That was a dirty pitch right there. No fair on a 3-2 count.
Bounding ball knocked down by Shaw, but he'll have no play as he ranged to his left, and Springer is aboard, the native of New Britain, Connecticut. So they have a base runner with 1 away after the strikeout.
Here's that strikeout pitch to Altuve. It was a knuckleball. Look at it float and then dive on the corner. Look at Hannigan doing a great job back there. Such a tough pitch to catch.
Well, they haven't ruled on that yet, whether it's a hit or an error. But a man on in front of Carlos Correa, the immensely gifted young shortstop, 21 years old, became a star last year as a rookie when he hit 22 home runs. They say he has been struggling, though, with the bat. Hitting .266 coming in.
What's wrong with that? I would have taken that in a heartbeat.
With 3 home runs, but
he is so good, though, that, you know, sometimes you get really excited to see an opposing player, and this guy is one of them.
Well, he was the American League Rookie of the Year last year. Not bad for a guy who wasn't promoted until June.
99 games he played. 22 homers, 68 RBIs.
They will rule an error on Shaw on the bounding ball by Springer.
Wow. Everybody knows I have a tough time with scorekeepers. It seems to me that everything seems to be a hit these days. But I would have thought that was a hit. That's a tough play going to your left. That second hop that you try to catch is like a super ball with that overspin. It's a tough hop.
Line shot, base hit to right. Springer romping into second. He'll stop there. So Correa's on as he goes to the opposite field. This has been the one issue with Stephen Wright, has been the first inning.
Takes a little time to settle in. Giving up a couple runs in each of his starts in the first inning. It's just a good piece of hitting right there. Waiting for it, going the other way.
Sends up Colby Rasmus with 2 aboard. Batting .311. He's hit 5 home runs. He belted 2 in their loss yesterday at Texas against the Rangers. Wright looking for a double play ball here, and the first one is down low for ball 1. Rasmus has already walked 14 times this season. Walked 47 times all last year.
Yeah.
Look at the on base percentage, largely because of all those ball fours. Play on a second, the tag, and not in time to get Springer.
At .467 on base percentage for your number 4 hitter. He's doing his job. A couple home runs in yesterday's ball game. They got swept by the Texas Rangers.
The shift on for Rasmus. Bogart's cheating to second base. And a strike.
We know that when Vasquez is behind the plate, he loves to throw the ball all around the infield. There would be a good opportunity, the way Correa is getting a huge lead off of first base, to maybe throw behind him. You see with Hanley Ramirez over there, but the knuckleball is so hard to handle, it's tough to put those plays on.
The 1-1 will not be made. He whirls and does not throw. Red Sox ahead here 2-0 in the first inning. Steven ran up against Toronto's Aaron Sanchez his last start. Sanchez going 7 terrific innings to beat the Sox 5-3, even though Wright pitched very well. Founded foul.
That's a great shot of the lead that I'm talking about with Correa way off of first base. Of course, he's the trail runner with another runner over there at second, but Hanley's kind of lurking around over there.
Springer at second, Correa at first. And a 1-2 on Rasmus. Golf to center field. Jackie Bradley will race over and make the play to his right, and the runners have to stay put. Jackie got an excellent jump. And that's out number 2.
Typical great jump by Jackie right there, and running to his right, and watch the ball tailing away from him. Watch this ball tail towards left field. He has to continue to catch up with it, and he does it. Left-hander kind of slicing a ball up the middle. Spin of that ball is just going to keep carrying it towards left field.
So Wright with a chance to get out of this first inning situation with Tyler White, the young first baseman, to get in, hitting .315 with 5 home runs. He's a stocky rookie who made the club out of his very first spring training, and he takes ball 1. 5'11", about 240. So he's a fire hydrant.
I talked to him today. He said that's 25 pounds down from when he was in college.
He's got a lot of Evan Gattis in him, the guy who's on deck, in there for a called strike. They look a lot alike. Their batting styles are very similar.
Yes. There's been a lot of comparisons made between the two. Gattis is a little bit taller. Tyler White out of Western Carolina.
Been a big story for them. Here's the 1-1. Poke that one to Pedroia, down on a knee to gather it in, and Wright gets out of it and strands 2. So despite the error in the single, Nothing comes of that. Red Sox lead it 2-0 after 1. Inning, Steve Lyons, Dave O'Brien with you here from Houston, Texas. Red Sox in front of the Astros 2-0. And Ryan Hannigan will lead it off here against McHugh. And he'll loop it to right field. Charging in and diving for the play. Springer, what a nice play as he caught it off to his left with a Superman dive.
That is a really nice catch. It's a hard play to dive straight in at the baseball. So he gets himself a little bit of an angle. Maybe out of fear, because if you dive straight at a baseball and you don't catch it, it hits you right in the face.
If you don't catch it, that rolls all the way to the wall for a triple or maybe more.
Yep.
Ryan Hannigan hitting 0-9-1 right now, wondering what he has to do. And here's Jackie Bradley. 239 for JBJ, no home runs. He is 2 for 2 against McHugh.
A lot of small sample sizes for the Red Sox against McHugh, but a lot of guys have decent numbers. Big Papi, the only guy that doesn't really have a hit. 0 for 7 against McHugh.
They will shift. Oh, who doesn't these days? Rocketed to right field. That's going to be down the line. Springer won't catch this. He's going to have to go all the way to the fence. Jackie heading into second base and make him 3 for 3 against this right-hander. He likes what he sees. The Red Sox getting some nice early swings.
Yeah, they're getting some good pitches to hit, and it's because they're working themselves into good hitters' counts. And that ball just rifled down into the corner. No shift in the world's going to do anything with that one, and that was just a little breaking ball there. Bradley all over it.
2 bases for Jackie, and quickly into scoring position with 1 out in the second. In front of Mookie Betts, who tripled to the wall in left center and came around to score in the first inning, as did Dustin Pedroia. Mookie wound up after a cold spell, hitting 3 home runs with 10 RBIs on the homestand. Play on, but Jackie back. So his numbers in the end were quite respectable in 10 games on the homestand, 10 RBIs.
Yeah, as we talked about, he's tied for the lead in RBIs on this team as your leadoff hitter.
There's a shot to left field. Rasmus on the move. He's going to have to play that one off the wall. That takes out a placard. He's heading for second. The run is in, and it's another extra base hit as Mookie goes hurtling into second base on his stomach.
He broke the wall.
He broke the wall.
Wow, how can you stop this kid? There it is right there. They're going to have to replace something out there. Colby Rasmus is going to have to pick up the pieces.
So Mookie is halfway to the cycle in 2 at-bats tonight.
He's just all over that breaking ball. That's the curveball that we talked about from McHugh, one of his best pitches. Likes to use it as an out pitch. He hasn't been able to get a lot of 2-strike counts on these Red Sox hitters before they're starting to blast him.
Dustin Pedroia, he takes a strike. He has singled in a run, 1 for 1. And now has the average over 300 again. You mentioned yesterday 1,500 hits for Dustin Pedroia. Now 1,501 at the age of 32. And it can be very interesting to project. It can be dangerous too, but I find it fascinating if you count on full healthy seasons for a number of years, which is really hard to do for any major leaguer because everybody gets hurt.
And it's been harder and harder to do with Petey lately. I mean, he plays so hard. You almost expect an injury or a DL stint on a yearly basis out of him.
He hammers that one foul just off third base. But let's just say that Petey plays until he's 40 and stays healthy for 8 more seasons. I think it's safe to project an average of about 160 hits a year. Somewhere around 160, 165 until the age of 40. Let's say he does that. If he does, the numbers project to like 28, 2,900 career hits.
Hall of Fame.
You got to figure he's going to win some more Gold Gloves. He has to beat this guy out at second base for Houston, Altuve, because he won it last year. Petey only held to 93 games because of that hamstring injury. But in a full healthy year, he's capable of 200 hits. He swings and misses. Kratz will scoop that up and throw, and Betts holding at second base as Pedroia strikes out. Pedroia had 213 hits in 08, 195 in 2011. So it gets kind of fun to play with those numbers, but I know they don't always project out, and a guy can have a really bad injury.
Well, yeah, but if they do, when you're talking about a Gold Glover, a World Series champion, an MVP,
Rookie of the Year,
and that many hits, that's a Hall of Famer.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Been thinking that way for a long time about him.
So is all of New England.
Yeah. Here's Xander Bogaerts, 1 for 1, 2 down. As he'll look at a strike. Xander with a base hit in the first inning, which makes him 4 for 9 against McHugh.
The point you were making about Betts and the homestand that he had as he stands out there at second base with a triple and a double in this game. In his last 10 at-bats, he's scored 6 runs. That's what I like even more about him.
0-2. Ortiz on deck. Red Sox ahead 3-0. Lately, they have been getting off to really nice offensive starts.
It's a lot of fun watching these guys when they're swinging it.
Well, this should be a really fun offensive team to watch all season long. 2-strike pitch, he gets a piece of it. Frankly, I would say that there have been very few games, and I think you can count them on maybe 2 fingers, that were not really fun games to watch. I mean, you don't want to lose 8 out of 15, and John Farrell's not thrilled with that, but the games have been intriguing.
Yeah, they're an entertaining team this year. A complete difference from a lot of what we saw out of them last year.
Down and in, he wouldn't chase. Betts at second. He's tripled and doubled already. And it's cut on and missed. Down he goes for strike 3. Back-to-back Ks from McHugh. But back-to-back extra base hits from Mookie Betts. He broke the wall, and it's 3-0. Hey, run support for Stephen Wright. He's unaccustomed to this. He has a 3-0 lead as we go to the second inning. Facing Evan Gattis, Carlos Gomez, and Luis Valbuena of the Houston Astros. On the heels of last year's surprise success, they are struggling early. They spent 139 days in first place and won a wild card spot. But a sluggish first 16 games for Houston. And their young manager. Big cut and a miss there by Gattis. Remember, they beat the Yankees in a one-game wild card game before they fell to Kansas City in 5 games in the division series. They were on the brink of advancing to the American League Championship Series. They were up by 4 runs in the 8th inning of Game 4 at home against the Royals before Kansas City stormed back to win. But they had a great year.
Yes, they did. I mean, you talk about exciting baseball, too, with some of the young studs they have. And they have more in the minor leagues waiting. There's already talk about potential moves.
In there, strike 3 right at the bottom of the strike zone to punch out Gattis. Hey, be sure to subscribe to NESN's YouTube page. Stay up to date on the latest sports news and exclusive interviews. Visit youtube.com/NESN right now. Look who's in the crowd here behind the popcorn. That is Steph Curry. The NBA MVP, the Golden State Warriors are in town. In fact, they're staying at the Red Sox hotel.
This guy is like the best player in basketball, and he can be hidden by 2 boxes of popcorn.
He is that. Here's Gomez. They're playing the Houston Rockets. They have a 2-1 lead in the NBA series that they're playing right now. They play again on Sunday. The word I got was the Warriors got off their bus. There were like 100 people at the hotel waiting behind a barrier. Looking to bunt, drops it down, charging in Shaw, and he's not going to have a play. That's going to be a base hit. So Gomez surprising the Red Sox with a bunt single. He was hitting 189 coming in. Word I got is he got off the bus, Steph Curry, walked over to the fans, and he signed every single autograph.
I've heard tons of stories just like that about him.
Yeah, the folks at the hotel were raving about what a nice guy he is.
Supposedly a huge Red Sox fan, too.
Is a Red Sox fan, and what he wanted more than anything when he came to Fenway not too long ago was a David Ortiz autograph.
Yeah, well, get in line.
Now he wants an autographed Big Papi Stetson black hat.
Yes.
There's only one of those.
Imagine if you put that hat on Steph Curry. It would be sitting on his shoulders.
He comes across midcourt. 1 step, and he's shooting. Bottoms.
He is. He's in range as soon as he comes out of the locker room.
Here's Valbuena hitting .214, no homers, 3 runs batted in, but a serious power threat.
This is one of the big problems that this team has seen, too. The back half of their order. Gattis, Gomez, Valbuena, Kratz in the lineup tonight, but 0 production out of the last 4 spots in this lineup. Kind of funny. I know that one of the big complaints over the weekend about Gomez, as you watch him there on first base with a bunt base hit, he tried to bunt for a base hit with guys on first and second and nobody out in a ball game over the weekend, and they said that's not why you're here. You need to drive those guys in.
Chopper foul. He's always been a bit of a wild card. He'll cause a dust up every once in a while with his flair. He's a great defensive outfielder.
Indeed. But you're right. They're saying, last year he was hurt a little bit when he got here and he kind of towed the company line. It was all about the team, but you wonder about a guy now in a free agent year, how selfish the player ends up getting.
2 strikes on Valbuena and stopped by Hannigan.
With his speed at first base, however, and the shift on as you see it, and you see Bogarts up the middle at short, you got to really worry about a third base situation. If there's movement from Gomez and a ball that's hit, someone's got to be at third base covering.
1-2. He wouldn't offer. Stephen Wright hit Chris Colabello with a fastball on the helmet in the Toronto series. And though Colabello was okay and stayed in the game, Wright apologized several times to him. The next day sent over an expensive bottle of something very nice as another apology. Waved at and missed, and Valbuena fails to connect. He strikes out. Did you hear the news today, though, about Colabello?
80 games.
80 game suspension for using performance enhancers. I mean, he was one of the great stories in baseball the last several years, with all those years in the independent league.
7.
Persevering as he did, and yet this is an eyebrow raiser now with the 80 game suspension.
New England kid.
It was a great story. I hate to use that in the past tense. You hope it was just a transgression of the moment. And here's Eric Kratz. Throw to first, and he gets back in safely.
I don't think Hanley ever got a glove on that ball.
I think you're right.
I think he just let Gomez catch it.
Got it in the body.
Hanley thinks it's funny. And, yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Wow. It's one of the things that Stephen Wright has to kind of juggle with. He's got a knuckleball grip, but if he decides to pick someone off, he has to change his grip in mid-pickoff and get a good grip on it and make a good throw over to first.
Well, that looked like a pretty good pitch, but called the ball. And with both of the guys on the mound tonight, Adam Hamari has to be patient. He has to wait, because that came back and caught the corner. And the other guy has a great curveball, McHugh.
Yeah.
And umpires often get fooled on the curveball with that late dip. Way outside and knocked down by Hannigan.
And the fact that there's not a lot of guys in the big leagues that do have big old 12-6 curveballs anymore. They don't see it very often.
Not many knuckleball guys either.
No, but when you think about it, if you throw a knuckleball up there and the catcher can't catch it and the hitter can't hit it, how does the umpire know if it's a strike?
Good point. Here's the 2-0. And the ball inside. Kratz does not have a hit this season. He's 0 for 11. Now Altuve on deck. You'd rather keep him right there. One of the best hitters in the game. And a 3-0 pitch. He's taking, and a strike. Steven crediting Tim Wakefield with helping him stay under control and attack the zone. He says, I throw such an inconsistent pitch, so the more consistent as far as staying back, attacking the zone, repeating my release point, and throw quality strikes will get me there. And there's another one in for a strike. He's gone to the right guy in Tim Wakefield.
I love the fact that he knows exactly who he is as a pitcher. There's not too many other pitchers out there in the world that would basically say, look, I throw a pitch that is completely inconsistent. I generally don't know where it's going. I have to try to repeat my mechanics as well as I can just to hope it becomes a strike.
3-2 with a runner going, and it is swung on and missed. Hannigan will scoop and fire and complete the strikeout. So Wright strikes out 3 men in the inning, and he has 4 in the first 2, and the Sox lead at 3-0. 6. Don't miss the Ultimate Red Sox Show presented by AAA. We take a look back at Patriots Day at Fenway. Plus catch the plays of the week. That and more Sunday at 6 on NESN. David Ortiz to lead off here in the 3rd inning, indicating a bunt. He's done that several times the last few days with that shift on. He has yet to lay one down. Papi walking in the 1st inning. Red Sox ahead 3-0 against McHugh and the Astros. Hanley Ramirez on deck. David, as Steve mentioned, is 0 for 7 against McHugh. Trying to clean that up right here in game 1. He checked his swing and fouled it back. Sox on the road for 5 games against 2 opponents who so far have gone 9-22. Punch foul sharply. That one reaching the 2nd level down the right field line, but foul.
Guy in the 1st row of the 2nd level tried to make the play, and he didn't, and now he'll understand how bad his hands hurt. And he doesn't have the ball.
Tough night already. 1-2. Even now on David. Seen a lot of Sox fans here in Houston.
I believe the Red Sox travel better than any team in baseball now. Used to be the Yankees. I don't think it is anymore.
Loop to center field. Gomez coming on. He'll snatch that. So David Ortiz is 0 for 1 tonight. Great pleasure to be with you tonight here from the Lone Star State, and nice to see a beautiful weather day because these folks really needed one with the terrible flooding here.
Yeah, absolutely. You know you're going to get some humidity down here, but the torrential downpour rain that they've had here has just been brutal for everybody. Beautiful night tonight. I know some more rain's supposed to come in, but hopefully they can get the situation under control.
Roof wide open tonight. And the Stars starting to come out. Here's Hanley. Hanley just missed a grand slam in the 1st inning. Drove one all the way to the warning track.
I think if McHugh is in this game, I think Hanley's going to have other opportunities to really air it out. I don't think McHugh's got anything for Hanley that he can't handle.
I would say you're right. Up the middle for a base hit.
He has been quiet this year, and I like it, and I think he does too. I don't think he feels like he's part of an offense that he has to carry. I think he just feels like he's one of those guys in the middle of the order that has to get base hits, drive in runs when the opportunities create themselves. He's already got 1 RBI in today's game, and just keep the line moving. Whereas most of his career, he's always been relied on to be the guy.
I give, as Travis Shaw gets and John Farrell, a lot of credit for that. He did something at the end of last season before he got sick. He went to the batting cage and told Hanley, basically, I don't want you doing that, going into the batting cage and trying to hit it 900 feet all the time. And this is something he had been referencing all season long. But when the home run stopped, John Farrell made a very pointed argument for Hanley to become the hitter that won him a batting title with the Marlins and became one of the most feared line drive hitters in baseball for a long time. I think John had a big impact on how he did it.
And I also think he was embarrassed about his season last year. That didn't go well for a number of reasons. I think he was unhappy. He was injured.
He's a different guy this year. He's much happier. He's much more at ease. He knows his teammates are really supporting him. He's been real comfortable at first base. Done a nice job there.
Excellent job at first base. A transformation there that I don't think too many people saw coming. There's a guy that worked with him right there, Brian Butterfield, tirelessly in spring training to make him a first baseman, as he did with Mike Napoli when he made that transition.
You want to talk about a supportive, ultimately supportive man in anything you do on the field. That's Brian Butterfield.
He is a great guy to be around.
Always positive and upbeat. Ground ball toward the middle and through, and it's off the glove of the diving second baseman. It's going to roll into center field. Hanley's heading into third. There's nobody there, and he stops at third base. Some alert base running by Hanley Ramirez, and Shaw is on with a base hit.
That's kind of what we talked about when the Red Sox were on defense with Bogey up the middle. When you have a shift on, if this ball gets through, look, now there's who's going to go cover third. You see the pitcher come running over. He doesn't want to be there. Here comes Hanley on to third. That's where the shift can get you into some trouble when your shortstop now has to go up the middle and nobody knows where they're supposed to be playing.
And that's actually the third baseman, Valbuena, who's playing in the shortstop position.
Right, and they put the shortstop up the middle because they want their best fielders into the shift.
The Sox already with 7 hits against McHugh. Brock Holt looking to keep it rolling. Men at first and third. It's another impressive thing about Hanley this season. Now he's run the bases.
So aggressive.
Red Sox ahead 3-0. Only 1 out, and Brock will take a strike. I think a lot of fans are wondering maybe why Steph Curry is such a Red Sox fan, because he was raised in North Carolina. Well, his brother Seth was a big Yankee fan, so you don't want to root for the team your brother does, so he picked the Red Sox
and stuck with it
and loves the Red Sox so much he actually had his bachelor party at Fenway Park in 2011. So right now he's a lot happier than he wants to let on.
He's just cool all the time.
Up and away. He also grew up with former Red Sox pitcher Daniel Bard. They were great friends. He's having another great year. Here's the 1-2 pitch now to Brock Holt.
You know, it'll be one more point about the Hanley Ramirez situation from last season that I think was really embarrassing for him. I know he was injured, but at the end of last season, they basically sent him home. And you know, I think he was embarrassed by that. I mean, you hurt your shoulder, you get injured, you stay with the team till the end of the year. They sent him home. And I think he came back saying that will never happen to me again.
You're right. I think he heard that message.
Yep.
To his credit, he heard it, and he's done something about it. And he's happier now. The club right now at 7-8. He's not delighted with that, but he's happier now about the kind of hitter he's returned to and the first base he's played than he was, I think, at any point last year when he was hitting 10 home runs in April.
Yeah.
He's at third base. Travis Shaw at first base. McHugh scuffling again. And that's low. There goes Shaw. There will be no throw.
Excellent read by Travis Shaw. We talked about him stealing bases the other day. Big guy. As soon as this ball's in the dirt, Shaw's first movement is towards second base. And then when you read that, you just keep going. No way you can bounce out of that crouch, get the ball, and throw a guy out at second if your first move is going towards second when that ball's in the dirt.
It'll be a wild pitch, the infield in. If Holt can slap one through here in his home state, the Red Sox would lead 5-0. Gets a piece and he fouls it away. Ryan Hanigan on deck.
Infield playing in now, and this has become a common theme. Teams playing against the Red Sox, they seem to always have to have their infield in. We saw it a bunch of times in yesterday's game.
Brock Holt, the native of Fort Worth, Texas. Line drive and a base hit. Another run is in. Shaw will stop at third because Rasmus was in anyway to scoop it up. And the Sox lead at 4-0, and the hit parade continues. That's 3 in a row.
So we talked about with the back half of this Red Sox order, they continue to be relentless. Shaw with the base hit, Holt with the base hit, now Hanigan up. Doing what he does, take the ball away from him, which he loves when you throw the ball outer half, because all he wants to do is slap it right over there for another base hit.
It's his 10th RBI of the season. First and third with 1 down. Ryan Hanigan was robbed of a hit on a terrific diving catch by the right fielder Springer, the kid out of UConn, in the second inning. 8 hits already for the Red Sox. And again, Boston came in trailing only Texas in the American League in runs scored.
Well, you know what I always say, and it didn't work out yesterday with the 12-8 score, but I always figure if you get 10 hits, you should win the game. They've got 8 right now.
Here's the 1-0 and the breaking ball outside. A win tonight gets the Sox back to 500. This is an opportunity to do some serious damage on this road trip. And the Red Sox are very aware of that. Outside. And the count goes to 3-0 on Hannigan. One more like that and the bases will be loaded.
The only sad part about that is that it should have started in the Tampa Bay series at home, because that's a team also not playing very good baseball, and yet the Red Sox weren't able to get it done against them.
The 3-0, he's taking all the way, and that's across for a strike. DraftKings is the official one-day fantasy baseball partner of the Sox. Experience the thrill of playing on DraftKings right now. Play free daily using the promo code NESSON at DraftKings.com.
Got to challenge Hannigan right here, don't you?
I would think. And a pop-up foul that'll drift out of play off into the stands. Clay Buchholz on the bump here tomorrow afternoon at 4:05 Eastern Time.
Back in his home state.
Sox have in recent years had a heavy dose of Texans.
There's a lot of good old Texas boys that can play this game.
A lot of good baseball in this state at the high school level.
There's Bucky.
He's coming off a terrific outing. Runner at first going, and that's fouled out of play again. Brock Holt was taken off. 6 2/3 against the Blue Jays. No runs, 6 hits against that lineup. And Henry Owens will be on the way here for Sunday, which is Sunday night baseball.
Yes, it is. Good for Henry. He's had a great start at Pawtucket.
3-2 and softly hit, caught out of the air by Altuve, back to first base to double up Brock Holt, and that will retire the side. The Red Sox, however, string 3 hits together and are on the board again and off to an excellent start here tonight.
expert emergency care without leaving the ballpark at the Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center First Aid Station, located at Fenway behind Section 12 in the lower concourse. Visit bidmc.org. And the Red Sox leading 4-0 behind a very sharp Stephen Wright. And the Sox are scoring for the knuckleballer tonight. He gets Altuve to lead things off. He struck him out looking in the first inning. And a routine two-hopper there to Bogarts. And a fast out. And for more on the Sox rehabbing pitchers, Rodriguez and Smith, here's Garen Austin.
Thanks, OB. Well, some good news for the pitching staff. John Farrell said that Eduardo Rodriguez and Carson Smith continue to make improvements. Rodriguez will go 75 pitches tomorrow, and if he comes out of that the way they anticipate, they look to get him with an affiliate to advance those improvements. Also, Smith came out of yesterday's extended spring training game in good shape, and he'll throw one additional inning tomorrow before they look to get him with an affiliate. And guys, Farrell said we could see Smith with an affiliate as early as Monday or Tuesday.
Oh, Garen, that would be great news, particularly given how short the Sox bullpen was yesterday, which paid, I think, a lot of attention to, and justifiably so, because of the way the Red Sox lost the game with so many guys unavailable. He's going to be a huge part of it. Sox fans have not seen him yet. So he's 6'6", everything downhill with that heavy sinker of his, throwing 95 to 97. He's going to be a tough guy to face in the American League.
Yep, nasty slider.
And Eddie Rodriguez, of course, an emerging left-handed star. Here's Springer. He reached on what was called an error on Travis Shaw in the first inning. We're wondering if they might change that to a hit at some point.
I thought it was a hit. I don't pass out hits easily.
You do not. Liner to center. Jackie has it lined up, a sinking line drive, but he hauls it in for the out. And two fast ones here.
I'll tell you, if you lived next door to Stephen Wright, you'd have no idea he was a Major League Baseball player. He's the easiest guy in the world to talk to. He is so happy and so grateful to be in the big leagues. I talked to him for half an hour today. You'd never talk to a starting pitcher on the day he starts.
So relaxed, yeah.
So happy to talk about what he does, how he does it, how sometimes he doesn't even understand it.
They used to say about Randy Johnson, a big unit, don't talk to him 3 days before he starts or the day he starts.
And 2 days after.
And 2 days after. In fact, just don't talk to him.
And not on Wednesdays. It's so funny because one of the radio announcers here in Houston is Steve Sparks, one of the last knuckleball guys around the game. And Houston employs him to throw batting practice sometimes when they're going to face a knuckleballer. When they face R.A. Dickey, he throws BP, and they have good games against R.A. Dickey. There is Steve right there. He didn't throw batting practice today. He said, hey, they didn't ask me. So he didn't go out there. Now one of the radio voices here in Houston. And I said, have you met Stephen Wright? He goes, I just talked to him for a half an hour. This was like an hour before the game started.
Yeah, that's part of that knuckleball club. Correa, the batter. It's a very small club. But how nice for Steven to be able to lean on Tim Wakefield.
And it's dwindling, too. I mean, you talk about Steven and R.A. Dickey are the last guys. Wakefield's awesome for Stephen Wright, considering he's in the organization and available to him all the time.
I mean, you could talk about anybody, any kind of pitcher for Tim Wakefield to go to advice and get. Won 200 games. Fouled out of play. And how about the Negro brothers?
Oh, I saw enough of the Negro brothers, I'll tell you that. Those guys, they would never give in. You got on a 3-2 count, they threw you another knuckleball. If you fouled 3 of those off, they keep throwing them.
I didn't know Joe, but I knew Phil. And that went up high for ball 4. And he's just like Stephen Wright, just like Tim Wakefield, just the nicest guys you're going to meet. You can talk to them as long as you want when they start. And just so approachable. I guess it's the nature of the knuckleball pitcher. You know, they realize that, you know, their whole fate is wrapped up in this butterfly. And whether it sails across the plate on a given night or not.
You need it to be as they put it, violent enough, but not so violent that your catcher can't catch it.
Yeah.
We saw that happen to R.A. Dickey. He threw a lot of violent pitches that ended up being pass balls, and the Red Sox would score runs because of it.
Correa takes the walk. Here's Rasmus, who's been dangerous so far with 5 home runs. He has long had a home run swing. Rasmus broke Bo Jackson's Alabama State high school home run record for a single season when he hit 21 as a high school senior.
Now it's nice that finally he found a home here in Houston. This is a guy that kind of bounced around. Nobody really knew if he was going to
swing and a miss, and that one's going to get by, handing into the backstop. It was not a foul ball, and down to second is Correa.
No one was ever really sure if he would establish himself as a player. St. Louis bounced around.
He did not see eye to eye with Tony La Russa.
Nope.
That'll get you out of St. Louis.
Not too many guys don't see eye to eye with Tony La Russa. He tells you what to do, you just do it.
Pass ball on Hannigan. With 2 down. Rolled softly to first, and a fair ball scooped up by Hanley Ramirez, and that is an easy inning in the end for Wright. He leaves a man stranded, and the Red Sox are out in front 4-0. Trusted source for Red Sox tickets has the best seats at the lowest prices to all the games at Fenway with a 200% guarantee. Call 1-800-MY-SEATS or visit aceticket.com. Steve Lyons, Dave O'Brien with you as we go to the 4th inning. 4-0 Red Sox ahead here in Houston. Flared foul by Jackie Bradley, who doubled and scored his first time up. Jackie struck out 3 times yesterday. Raised some eyebrows when with the bases loaded in the 7th after the Sox had tied it. He did hit against a left-hander. Sox would leave the bases loaded. He's come back to double tonight. He checks his swing, and that's a little high.
We've seen John Farrell pinch hit for some of his left-handers in the lineup. We've seen it happen with Travis Shaw. Jackie Bradley hasn't had the most success so far this year against lefties. But I think what he saw was a big right-hander warming up down in the bullpen, and he picked his poison. I think John Farrell wanted to go lefty on lefty with JBJ rather than pinch hitting with Young and then having the righty come in to face him.
I think that was part of the reasoning. I think the other thing at work was I want to stick with my guy. In Jackie Bradley. He's my everyday center fielder. Chop behind the bag, but foul.
And that goes a long way for the player. And I rarely use the word confidence just because I think these guys fall out of bed with tremendous confidence. And if they don't have it, I don't really want to be with them. but it makes you feel good. Gives you a little more swagger. Helps your mojo if I go up there and I know I'm struggling against left-handers, but you as my manager say, go get them.
1-2 pitch. Roll to the first baseman. White will flip it to the pitcher. A little bit closer than they wanted, I'm sure, but that's out number 1. Fans, with Benjamin Moore, you can paint like no other. Go to benjaminmoore.com to find your nearest retailer. Red Sox 4 runs, 8 hits already.
Oh, there's that man again.
Here comes Mookie. Is this the night he hits for the cycle? He has already tripled and doubled. And the way he's swinging the bat, I mean, the home run, that might be easier than the triple, right?
Especially if you come anywhere near the inner half of the plate.
I would bet the house he will hit for the cycle more than once in his career. Brock Holt was the last man to do it. He did it last year.
Certainly not an easy thing to do, but when you're talking about a guy who has speed and power, and those guys are a dying breed in the game of baseball. Generally, you have one or the other. He's got both of them. You have that chance. If he has a chance to hit for the cycle every time he takes the field.
Ground ball. Well, there's a base hit. So now he's a home run away from it in his first 3 at bats. Triple, double, and single. So whatever else you have planned tonight on your schedule, as you're watching, make sure you watch his next couple of at bats tonight.
And this is classic right there. All he saw was a big open hole on the right-hand side and said, why don't I just punch one through there? Kind of had him shifted up the middle. There was nobody in that 2-hole over there. And he said, I'm going to take a base hit right there.
I mean, you just don't see it happen very often. I think statistically, and this was true for a long time, no hitters occurred more often than
easier
cycles.
than cycles. Yeah, they're neck and neck too. There's not too many of either of them, unless Arrieta's pitching.
Right, another no hitter for him. Chicago Cubs ace. He's thrown 2 of them now. Here's Dustin Pedroia, base hit and a strikeout. Red Sox ahead 4-0. Mookie not running right away, and that's up high for a ball.
There are many so-called baseball experts out there that say there's been plenty of better pitched games that weren't no-hitters, other than the no-hitters. You can't agree with them on some regards, but when you pitch a game and no one gets any hits, that's pretty special.
It's happened 20 times in Red Sox history. Sharply hit but foul by Pedroia. 20 cycles, most recently by Brock Holt.
What's the most enduring memory of that cycle for Brock Holt that you remember in that game?
Well, for me, it was the triple.
Exactly. Holding his fist up,
yes,
pointing back at the guys on the bench after the triple.
It's great stuff. He also had a moment here in this ballpark the season before where he went crazy. Had 4 or 5 hits in the game, but he blasted a home run, and his mom was in the stands, and the NESN cameras caught his mom in tears, crying as her boy, a Texas kid, had come to Houston and done that in the major leagues.
It's taken a long time for even the Red Sox organization to really believe in Brock Holt. He was an all-star last year, but people kept saying you can't really win with Brock Holt in your lineup every day. He's a utility guy. I never really believed that. Everyone said he'll wear down. He's not big enough. He's never been big enough. People have been telling him he's too small and not strong enough and not good enough his whole life, and all he does is keep proving them wrong.
2-1, a topper to third base. Valbuena has to go to first. In time to get the out. Mookie down to second base, and they're 2 away. So this is how close it is. For example, cycles and no hitters in Red Sox history. There have been 18 no hitters thrown, and 20 men have hit for the cycles. So you're right, it's right there statistically.
I think industry wide in all of baseball, they're very, very close. It's been a few years since I looked at that.
And Mookie Betts is a home run away from it tonight after just 3 at-bats. He's right on the edge. Here's Xander Bogaerts trying to drive him in. Red Sox ahead 4-0 in the 4th. Xander with a base hit and a strikeout tonight. Colin McHugh, and a cut and a miss. You can't really tell when he's on the mound, but McHugh is one of the major league pitchers who wears a protective headgear. It's padding inside his cap on the right side where he follows through. It's in there to protect his head from like a line drive. It's a piece of Kevlar in there. Does not throw to second base. And the inventor of that, he played high school baseball with and has patented that device. Some pitchers do wear it. Just on that right side where he gets exposed after the follow through.
If it doesn't impede anything, I don't see any reason not to.
Fouled back. Good rip. Follow Red Sox baseball live with the MLB.com at bat app. Stay up to the moment with game day, live game video, and more. Download MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball on your smartphone and tablet today.
When you consider that McHugh, as big as he is, and you see the coaches now wear helmets while they're coaching on the field, and of course Butterfield's always really close to the hitters.
Line shot, fair ball down the line. Another run is in. Mookie will score. It goes all the way to the fence. Xander really turned on that wickedly, his second hit, and the Red Sox are up 5-0.
Boy, I hope that ball got on Valbuena quicker than it looked, because it didn't look like the greatest effort to try to catch this thing. And oh, it's not even close to him. I guess that's my bad. I thought that ball was a lot closer to him, and he said, I don't really want it.
It was a bullet.
That was a seed down the line.
David Ortiz looking to keep it rolling. Papi has walked in line to center tonight. Well, the Red Sox already with 10 hits against McHugh, a 19-game winner last year. But a 6.39 ERA coming in, and that's going up. Starts him off with a breaking ball. Three home runs for Big Papi. Honored before the game by the Houston Astros organization, a gift of a black Stetson hat, custom made. And he chops a foul.
From Pinto Ranch.
Now, what does that mean? I'm not into the whole cowboy genre.
I have no idea. They just mentioned it. I figure it's like the Mercedes of hats. I don't know.
But how do you know?
They said.
They said, but you didn't know that.
I wrote it down. It was so impressive.
I would have been more impressed if you knew where that was and what that meant.
I assume it's a really good Stetson.
It looks like a great one. 1 ball and 2 strikes, but I'm no expert.
My Twitter lit up with people, I assume, from down here that say, hey, he didn't even play that many games here.
Right. But it's a nice gesture.
You should be happy we gave him anything. It's Big Papi.
I think it's a very sweet gesture, and you know it's a quality lid.
Pinto Ranch.
2-2. How many rocking chairs is he going to get by the time the season's over?
Well, Houston didn't give him one. I hope that's so passé. Nobody does it.
Some of them are very stylish now. Some of them are like made out of baseballs and bats, and they're quite cool. But you only need one. Well, this is our cricket something to smile about moment. David loved it.
He looks good in it.
He can wear anything.
Just from that picture alone, I give him a starring role in the next Western.
Somewhere Clint Eastwood is making a note.
Yeah. The good, the bad, the ugly, 2.
Looking for an RBI right here with a count of 2-2. Line past third, but foul.
Ortiz is just measuring McHugh up there in this at-bat.
Well, they have bullpen activity. Davinsky getting going, the right-hander. Red Sox are hammering away at the starter, McHugh. There goes the runner. And that one is sharply hit but foul as David pulled it. Xander Bogaerts was heading to third base. Red Sox ahead 5-0 in the top of the fourth, and Mookie Betts is 3 for 3 with a single, a double, and a triple. Got the triple out of the way in the very first inning.
David keeps spoiling the best out pitch McHugh has. Waiting for him to make a mistake.
The first 4 Red Sox all reached base before Hanley Ramirez drove in a run with a sacrifice fly. Betts with a triple, Dustin Pedroia with a single, Xander Bogaerts with a single, and Ortiz took ball 4 in the first inning. And swung on and missed, and that time David didn't get it as he strikes out to retire the side. The Red Sox add another run. Mookie off to the races, 5-0 Boston. Inning right now, Mr. Wright is working on a 2-hit shutout off to the best start of any of his starts this season, and he came in with a 2.13 ERA. Tyler White will lead things off, and a good knuckleball in for a strike. Pretty good story here, a 33rd round draft pick. Here he is batting 5th for a playoff team from last year. He hit .362 at AAA last year, so they figured they were onto something. And in his big league debut on April 5th, he had a pinch hit single in his first plate appearance in the 7th inning of an Astros win at Yankee Stadium.
And the legend continues with this guy.
Softly hit. Wright pounces on that. Accurate throw, and he gets him. One man gone here in the 4th inning for Houston.
Stephen Wright here with the knuckler dancing all over the place. There's a strikeout early in the ball game. Evan Gattis just looking there. Valbuena, the up and away from him, just swinging right through it. Look at the late movement. So hard to hit when he's on.
And Gattis, who looks like a slightly larger version of Tyler White, climbs in.
They have the same batting stance, those two guys.
He lunges and flares that one to right, but there's Mookie on the move to put it away. 2 down. I want to correct one thing, one note on the cycles for the Red Sox. The Sox have actually had 21 of them. Bobby Doerr did it twice. So instead of 20, 21. But Mookie is a home run away from it tonight. And he has a lot of time. We're only in the 4th inning. Carlos Gomez now, he bunted his way on in the 2nd inning. Gomez is a 2-time All-Star. He won the Gold Glove in 2013.
Come on, Gomi. Come on, Carlos. Come on, Gomi.
Last one almost got him on the elbow. How about Geyer yesterday getting hit 3 times?
And not caring about it. Almost trying to get.
He was leaning out over the plate. If I'm David Price, I'm upset.
He was. He said that pitch is right over the plate.
He was right. You're supposed to make an effort, and the umpire does not have to grant that hit batsman. Lays to center, Jackie Bradley back, and another sinking liner gets it. Wright zips through the inning. He gets him 1, 2, 3, and the Sox are on top 5-0. Colin McHugh's pitching line brought to you by your Eastern Lexus dealer. We have to give it to you now because he's about to be lifted. And only lasting 4 innings. The Red Sox hammering away 10 hits, 5 runs, and all earned against the 19-game winner.
He was just off a little bit location-wise, and the Red Sox did a great job of staying off of those pitches and then hitting them when they were over the plate.
They bring on the rookie Chris Davinsky, who's pitched very well for them. Hanley Ramirez gets his first look. This call to the bullpen brought to you by Kia.
Hello.
Just happy you picked up. Davinsky with a 1.08 ERA. In 8 1/3, he has 9 strikeouts. You're facing a guy for the first time, as Hanley is this youngster. And you may have some scouting report that someone just gave you in a dugout. What do you look for?
Well, the scouting report on him is that he's got a great changeup, so you got to try to make sure that that is up if you can get it, and try to get a good fastball to hit, but you haven't seen it. So I think Hanley might.
It's a Sharpley down the line, and they go for extra bases. Rasmus has to scoop it up near the warning track. Hanley wants 2. Here's the throw, the tag, and he is out. Rasmus with a good arm there, and Altuve scooped it up and tagged him.
Not sure if Hanley realized that he was out there, but yeah, here he goes. Jumps on that fastball, pulls it down the line, and in this situation in the game with the score, I'm going too. But Rasmus does a great job out there, and he does have a good throwing arm. Altuve with the sweet. Well, geez, I don't know. I don't know if Altuve actually tagged him. This might be a challenge situation.
John's waiting.
That's why Hanley stayed out there. He might be safe.
I mean, the throw beat him.
But he had to short hop that, so he comes off of the base to make the catch.
Yeah, let's go!
Yeah, John's going to challenge this. John Farrell is out to challenge, so he wants them to look at it in New York. And I think it's worth it. And you're up 5-0 here.
Tags him on the upper thigh there, but did his foot make it in?
We'll slow this down to give you a better look.
I don't think he's tagged him yet. Yeah, maybe right there on the inner thigh there's a little tag, but I think his foot was on the bag first, wasn't it?
Well, it's as close as it gets again. And this always comes back to, do they have enough evidence to overturn it?
Right. When it's that close, generally the call on the field will stand unless they see something. Here's a different angle. Altuve's only 5'6", and Hanley's flying around first. You can understand why he wants to get out of there a little bit.
So we'll wait on an official review here to see if Hanley is out at second or he has his double. Hustling out of the gate on that one. Gives him a chance to chat with Altuve and Correa.
Well, that's a great shot just to show you the size of Altuve. Hanley's a big guy, we know that, but goodness.
5'6", and they're going to uphold the call. He is out at second base, so give him his second hit of the ball game, but not a double. Not a good play by Rasmus and by Altuve. So one away, and now Travis Shaw, he'll be searching for his second hit. Several Red Sox already with multi-hit games. Hanley Ramirez has 2, Xander Bogaerts has 2, and Mookie Betts has 3. There's a high D drive to right field. Did he hook it too much? Heading into the corner, and it is a foul ball. But he had the distance. Time for our twisted but true fact. Travis Shaw recorded his 30th and 31st extra base hits of his career yesterday, playing in his 80th major league game. The first left-handed Sox hitter to reach 30 extra base hits in his first 80, all at the Red Sox since Fred Lynn did it in 74-75. Twisted Tea, the hard iced tea that tastes like real iced tea. Be a little twisted.
Freddie Lynn went on to have a pretty good career, didn't he?
Down low for a ball.
This guy Davinsky is the guy that they think will be the next guy added to the starting rotation. Getting his feet wet out there in the bullpen, but they've had some problems with their rotation. He may be next in line. Very violent windup. Relies on that kind of deception and then throws a good changeup.
Pop down the left field line, drifting. Rasmus won't get to it. Do you see who's coming up on the 17th of July at Fenway in concert?
Oh, your all-time favorite?
Well, it's Jerry Remy's all-time favorite. He's on the list, on the very short list for me.
The knighted one.
Paul McCartney returning to Fenway Park. And guess who has tickets?
I would say Jerry Remy's probably first in line for tickets.
Line shot and a base hit. And Travis Shaw is on once again. He is 2 for 3. Tickets go on sale, by the way, Friday, May 6th at 10 a.m. at redsox.com/Paul McCartney at Fenway, July 17th.
See, that's how good Jerry is. He has tickets already. They don't even go on sale yet. But he's got them in his back pocket already.
Nice to be locked in like that.
From what I understand, he may invite you to go.
I might get an invite on that. Wow. The deal is I have to find a way to introduce Paul McCartney to Jerry Remy. I now have to find somebody that I know who knows Paul McCartney. Just a slight little hitch.
Do you have someone on a list?
I do not. Brock Holt 1 for 2 with a base hit. He has a big cheering section. And those T-shirts all say "Party like a Brock star."
Oh, yeah.
His family is in force here in their home state. Right back to the mound. Davinsky will throw to second. Got one there on to first. Close and got him. That's a double play to retire the side. So the Red Sox, despite a couple of hits in the inning, failed to score. We go to the last half of the 5th. 5-0 Boston. Dean will return to Fenway Park September 9th as part of the Plain Ridge Park Casino concert series. He is co-headlining with Kid Rock. Tickets are on sale right now at redsox.com/JasonAldean. So we are halfway through, bottom of the 5th inning. Stephen Wright has been dealing a 2-hit shutout. Got him 1-2-3 in the 4th inning. Facing Valbuena, who hit 25 home runs last year, went for another one here but came up empty. Wright struck him out in the 2nd.
Valbuena, such a streaky hitter. 25 homers last year. How many this year? Not a one.
Kratz on deck and then Altuve. Sox beat him tonight. Houston goes to 5-12.
In tonight's lineup for the Houston Astros, there's 6, 7, 8, and 9 hitters have 0 home runs combined.
And a total of 4 RBIs. Across for a called strike. And the count goes to 3-2.
There goes the shift of the shift. Bogey and Shaw trade places.
And he won't chase it. That's away for ball 4. That'll be the 2nd walk of the contest for Wright. So Valbuena aboard. That brings up Kratz, who is 0 for 12 on the season, and he has struck out 6 times. First pitch, check swinging in there for a strike. Stevens said he was right on the verge of retiring in April of 2013 if the Red Sox had not put him on the 40-man roster. After years in the minor leagues, and he had a family, baby on the way, only making about $10,000 a year, which was not enough to raise a family on. And when the Red Sox put him on the roster, it changed his life dramatically. Ground ball to third. Friendly hop for Shaw to Pedroia, turning it on to first. Double play. 2 down. Don't miss WB Mason Extra Innings Live right after the game. TC and Jim Rice break down the ball game. You'll hear from Stephen Wright and John Farrell. Whatever, whenever, wherever, who but WB Mason.
Once again, Shaw, watch the way he turns a double play, just makes it so easy. Drop step, make a perfect throw. Right, hits Pedroia right in the chest so that he can make the easy pivot on to first. The whole thing starts from your third baseman, making it so easy for Pedroia at second base to turn that over.
Altuve's 0 for 2. He has struck out and grounded out tonight. Bases now empty after the twin killing. Altuve won the batting title in 2014. He had 341. Came back last year to hit 313.
Signed to play professional baseball at 16 years old. Was an all-star by 22.
Broken bat looper and caught on the lunge by Bogarts to retire the side. So Wright has to face only 3 Astros. Still 5-0 Red Sox. Ryan Hannigan to lead off here in the 6th inning with the Sox in front 5-0. Game 1 in Houston. Steve Lyons, Dave O'Brien, and Garen Austin with you. Hannigan is 0 for 2 tonight. Of course, his assignment is to catch the knuckleballer Stephen Wright and to get it paired up for a 2-hit shutout. Hey, nice to see our old friend David Ross, one of the 2013 world champion Red Sox, catch his first no-hitter yesterday, thrown by the Cubs' Jake Arrieta. Ross is in his 15th and final season as that one is looped into left for a base hit. And that's the first time he has caught a no-hitter in his career.
There are so many people around that Cubs organization, from what I've been hearing, is that Ross was happier about it than Arrieta was.
Yeah. They call him Grandpa Rossi there. Sox fans looking for the best seats to the biggest games, check out the official Red Sox ticket resale marketplace at RedSoxReplay.com. It is the best place for season ticket holders to sell their tickets when they can't make it to the game. Jackie Bradley with a double and a run. He's gone 1 for 2. Sox have 13 hits. Yeah, Ross hit a home run. He had 3 RBIs in the game, and later he joked, my good offense gets overshadowed by his no-hitter. He also got a Gatorade shower in the clubhouse. His teammates just love him. And they invited him to the post-game press conference. And he said, I'm coming because I just want a picture with Jake for my scrapbook.
Well, he's such a quality guy, and he will be a major league manager too if he chooses.
You think so?
Yes. Such a smart baseball guy.
He had a tremendous influence on the 13 Sox. Knocked foul out of play. Mookie Betts is on deck. And you're going to want to see this at bat coming up, because if he cracks a home run, he will have hit for the cycle in the first 6 innings of this game.
You can do it twice.
Cut on and missed as Jackie Bradley goes down swinging. And here comes Mookie.
Here's the 3 hits he's got so far. Just a ringing triple off of the wall in left field. Took advantage of a little hesitation there in the outfield. Thought about going all the way home. Then this is just a bullet that breaks the wall in left field. In for the double. Then just taking what they gave him. Wide open hole in right field. He just banged it through that hole there, and here we go.
First pitch in there for a strike. 3:15 to left here. And up into those Crawford boxes for a home run if you pull it. He is the Red Sox leading home run hitter so far with 4. High fly ball into right center field, so it won't come here. Gomez backs into the alley to make the catch. He should get a couple of more opportunities tonight, however. He makes an out for the first time this evening, and that's out number 2. And we'll send up Dustin Pedroia. Pedroia with a single, a strikeout, a ground out, 1 for 3. After 3 hits and a home run yesterday. And again on at first base. And ball 1. And cut and a miss to even up the count on Dustin Pedroia. Red Sox here in Houston for 3, and then on to Atlanta to face the Braves, who've gotten off to a terrible start this season. They're now 4-11. We'll see the Braves in 4 consecutive games. John Farrell's club also to see them after the 2 in Atlanta, 2 at Fenway, the 27th and the 28th.
That's that weird baseball home and home series. They did it last year with the Braves, which is kind of crazy.
And then we'll see the Yankees for the first time starting on the 29th. Dive back by Hannigan safe. Yankees will be in for 3, and there's also another Sunday night game.
3 weeks in a row, I believe, the Red Sox are the Sunday night game.
The Astros play against the Sox on Sunday night here and then fly to Seattle for a game the next night. They're going to get in around 5 in the morning. He threw his bat at that, looped it to right field, and that's going to drop for a base hit. So Pedroia dunks one in, down to second Hannigan, and now Petey is 2 for 4. Hey, Think Energy, powering Fenway, and a smart choice to power your home. Visit thinkenergy.com to enroll today.
That's some sweet hand-eye coordination right there. Completely fooled by the pitch. Kind of an emergency hack, but being able to get your barrel, your bat to the ball A lot of times you would say, hey, I'm not sure that, his rear end wasn't in that swing, but his bat was.
It's called plate coverage. So 2 men aboard for Xander Bogaerts. The Red Sox have a chance to break this one wide open. They have out-hit Houston 14-2. Xander has 2 hits. Mookie Betts has 3. Dustin Pedroia 2. So the top 3 in the order have done a lot of damage.
Yes.
7 hits between the 3 of them.
I've been saying this for a while, and we keep looking at the teams that are just crushing the ball in the American League East. When you look at what Toronto's been able to do, when you look at what the Orioles are doing offensively, that's fine. And we saw it firsthand. The Orioles came in and beat us up pretty good. But I don't like teams that are going to rely on their power for the entire season in order for them to be a good team. I like this lineup way better from top to bottom. There's a little bit of power there. You hit the ball out of the park every once in a while, and they do. But I want to see them bang out 12 and 14 hits, 15 hits. That's how they've been scoring a lot of their runs. That'll win you a lot of games.
Chop to the third baseman. Valbuena goes to second, and the force play will retire the side. So the Red Sox will strand a couple of men up 5-0 in the 6th inning. Right back to work. The DD Perks loyalty program. It's how Dunkin' Donuts shows big time appreciation to the loyal fans with great offers and perks like a free beverage when you join, another on your birthday. Enroll today at ddperks.com or on the Dunkin' mobile app. The Red Sox run on Dunkin'. Bottom of the 6th inning, 5-0. Sox in front behind Wright. And Springer stings a line drive base hit on one hop to Brock Holt to get started. Time now for a game break. It's brought to you by Jordan's The Furniture Store of the Boston Red Sox. And here's TC. He's quick. I'm not sure he's Travis Shaw stealing home. He did the same thing against Andy Pettitte, remember? At Fenway?
I love it.
Travis with a stolen base of home yesterday. Here's Correa. And that one goes all the way to the backstop. So that'll advance Springer to second base.
You know, one of the best things about this ball game tonight is that we haven't talked about Ryan Hanigan. And that means that he's handled that knuckleball very, very well tonight. That one got away. It was a little crazy pitch.
Wild pitch.
But when you have knuckleballer on the mound and you don't talk about the catcher, then you know he's doing a great job.
Correa, the 21-year-old shortstop, lets that one go for a strike. You're talking about concerts last inning. I saw earlier today that Jason Aldean and Kid Rock fans were very eager to get tickets to the latest show at Plain Ridge Park Casino Fenway Concert Series. It's sold out in 90 minutes today. No word yet as to whether a second show will be added. These concerts are so popular.
Oh, I'll be there.
Will you?
If I have the night off.
Tony Sipp getting going in their bullpen. Sox up 5-0 in the 6th. Nobody out. Runner at second base. Runner goes. A strike, the throw, the tag. He is out. Trying to steal third base. That's the first out of the inning.
That makes no sense at all.
Where is he going?
They may challenge this just because they challenge anything close, but
now Hinch is thinking about it.
I don't know. I mean, we'll check this out again. And it's going to be very close. But once again, it might be one of those plays where it's nothing to overturn. Could be safe.
Yeah, looked like he may have gotten that left hand in before the tag, Steve.
Well, you know what? He better be safe because it was a stupid play.
So it is under review. Yeah, looks like he got that left hand. This one may be overturned. They're also showing it up on the big board for the Astro fans. The ruling on the field is out on the tag by Shaw.
I mean, that's one of those plays where you absolutely have to be safe if you're going to try to steal in that situation. And even then, it's probably not a smart move.
So Springer ruled out. Hannigan still made a good throw, but it looked to us anyway like that left hand got in there.
Yep.
So Tom Hallion, Tony Randazzo, and Dan Bellino and Adam Hamari taking a look. Tomorrow morning at 9 on Dining Playbook, Billy heads into the kitchen to cook up some salmon with a world-renowned chef. Don't miss Dining Playbook tomorrow morning at 9 on Nesson, driven by your New England Chevy dealers. It's a fairly long look. I'd like to put a clock on these replay reviews of 2 minutes. And they have to come up with a decision in 2 minutes or stick with the call on the field up through the 7th inning, and then no time after the 8th and 9th and into extra innings. What do you think?
I could go along with that, just considering that I don't really like the whole replay system at all. So
you don't like the system at all?
No.
You want them to get it right.
I don't.
You don't want them to get it right.
I think the umpires are right enough. I think the umpires are the best in the world at what they do. Well, and I think that the baseball world goes along with the decisions that they've made.
Well, how about this? I mean, that review that we saw made it look like he was probably safe, and they're going to uphold the out call gratefully for the Red Sox.
Right. And another reason why I don't think the replay system works very well. You and I saw replays that we thought he was safe. They just called him out. So how good is the system when nobody can agree? I just think that here's my thing about baseball. It is the most perfect, imperfect game in the world. I love it that way.
Fine throw by Hannigan, and there's a base hit to right field. So Correa stings that one through the hole, but no RBI because Springer was caught. It kind of buries the whole idea, however, that was just a bad base running.
Exactly. I mean, that's kind of the thing that he deserved to be out because it was just a stupid play.
So that'll send up Colby Rasmus, who has lined to center and grounded out to first base. Red Sox ahead 5-0. I think the Red Sox caught a couple of breaks there. First of all, Springer decided to run, and secondly, it looked like he was probably safe.
Red Sox got the benefit of the doubt on the out call on the field. I'm sure that the ruling in New York was inconclusive, and so when that happens, they go with the call on the field.
And I have missed on every single guess this season. Every one of them. I'm perfect.
It's easy to do.
I've got not one of them right. Rasmus .298 with 5 homers.
You know, the whole thing with replay, part of it was part of the design was to speed things up. It doesn't. It slows everything down.
I think they are taking too long. That last one wasn't bad. It was 2 minutes and 17 seconds. The bat goes flying on the swing and a miss. Look out. Into the crowd behind the Astros dugout. Hope everybody's okay over there.
Nope. Looks like that older gentleman right there, I think it hit him right on the leg, but he's shaking it off, it looks like to me.
Pretty tough.
Yep.
Tonight, after Red Sox coverage on NESN Sports Today, we have a full recap of Game 3 as the Celtics take on the Hawks at the Garden, plus Red Sox clubhouse reaction from tonight's game in Houston. NESN Sports Today, presented by People's United Bank. See what know-how can do. That one golfed into left field, well hit. Holt is backing up to the track, and he's there to make the catch up against the fence. He knocked the placard out. Red Sox are doing a lot of damage on that wall, and they're 2 down. Earlier tonight, Mookie Betts shot one off that fence, off that wall out there, and he knocked one of those placards out. He actually broke his. I think Brock caught an elbow. Red Sox ahead 5-0. They have out-hit Houston 14-4. Tyler White will dig in. He has grounded out twice. Wright has looked good again, as that one is high for a ball. And you know, the talk about when Eduardo Rodriguez does return, he gets a spot back in the rotation, who has to step aside. Stephen Wright has done nothing to be that guy. Nothing.
He's your 5th starter, and he has been the most reliable starter.
Well, Hannigan tried to pull that one back. It missed for a ball. So the count 2-0. That'll dip in there for a call strike. Strictly speaking, based on performance, and this is obviously firmly tongue-in-cheek, the guy who would have to step aside right now is David Price. I know we're all laughing there. Chop foul. You fully expect him to have a great year.
Yeah, I think, you know, I think he's rounding himself in. Like, he even said that he felt as good as he's felt all year last year. There's some balls out over the middle of the plate that got hit a little bit. We've talked about it a few times. He's going to make 33 starts this year probably. He's going to have a clunker or two in there, and we've seen a few of them.
He may have gotten them out of the way already.
We're probably in store for a lot of good pitching.
Swing and a miss, and down goes White. So once again, Wright with a fine inning despite a couple of hits. Nothing comes of that. Sox up by 5. All new Charlie Moore Outdoors. Charlie will visit the Berkshires and he learns some tricks about fly fishing. He also takes a tour at the world famous Red Lion Inn. Catch all that and more on Charlie Moore Outdoors Sunday night at 7.
It's a fun show.
He's absolutely crazy. Charlie. He's nuts.
Yeah, yeah. That's what makes it a fun show.
Tony Sipp coming out of the bullpen, the left-hander, to take on David Ortiz. We're on to the 7th with the Red Sox ahead 5-0 here in Houston. Sipp, a big part of their success out of the pen last year. He appeared in 60 games and posted a 1.99 ERA. Not as easy so far this year.
7 hits in 5 innings.
Cracked on the ground, stabbed by the sliding White. Will they get the out? They will on the flip. And Big Papi's retired. He's 0 for 3 as we go to Garen Austin.
There are a lot of Texas connections. Houston is actually Chris Young's hometown. He said he did not grow up an Astros fan, but he does remember going to the Astrodome to watch games. And he said he'll have a lot of family and friends that will be coming throughout the entire series. And before the game, Texas native Brock Holt was on the field taking pictures with his mom and his dad and his sister Shelby. And guys, Clay Buchholz is from about an hour away from here, and he said he's been hearing from a lot of people that he has not heard from in a very long time who all want to come and watch him pitch tomorrow.
I'll bet that's true, and that'll be tomorrow at 4 o'clock, Aaron. And there are all the Brock stars and the Gray Tees.
And they want Buck to pay for the ticket too.
I think that goes without saying, doesn't it?
And we want to come and watch a pitch, and we want you to pay for it.
Hanley has a good night going with 2 hits and an RBI, and he scored a run. Drove in a run with a sac fly in the first inning when the Red Sox got 2 runs on 3 hits and scored in every one of the first 4 innings tonight. 14 hits, you kind of think it ought to be about a 7 or 8 or 9 run lead.
A few more runs on the board. Yep, they've left a lot of guys out there.
Sox have stranded 7. Cut on and missed, and he lost his balance.
Hanley spent more time over there in this at bat than he has in his own batter's box.
And you just know that when he gets hot, he can get hot enough to carry a team.
For a while. We saw that last April with the 10 home runs.
Travis Shaw on deck. One of the big stories tonight for the Red Sox is Mookie Betts needs a home run to hit for the cycle in this game. It's happened 21 times in Red Sox history. Last year by Brock Holt. In order, Mookie has tripled, doubled, and singled in this one. Swing and a miss on a pitch down low, and he will be out. That is strike 3. So Hanley fans, and there are 2 gone.
I initially thought that maybe Hanley foul tipped this ball. But he didn't. Down in the dirt.
The 2016 CVS Health Charity Classic features more than the nation's best golfers. Don't miss the Charity Classic benefit concert. That's Lady Antebellum at Dunkin' Donuts Center in Providence, June 28th. Get your tickets at Ticketmaster.com/Charity Classic Fenway. The Red Sox have not gone traditional 1-2-3 in this game because they have been swinging away, piling up hits. First 2 men around in the 7th inning. Travis Shaw's 2 for 3. Travis, one of 5 Red Sox who already have 2 hits tonight. He had 2 doubles and an RBI in Thursday's loss and stole home as part of a double steal with Brock Holt. Travis had a really nice homestand. He went 12 for 34 with 7 RBIs, 5 doubles, and a homer.
He shows up to play every day. I mean, you like the transformation in this guy. From the day he got to the big leagues, he became a better player.
You've seen that before, haven't you?
Yeah, it does happen to some guys. The light goes on. You know, you're working your tail off to get to the big leagues. Maybe you spent 3 years in the minor leagues, and right when an organization will call you up is right when you're beginning to become a better player. And I think that's exactly what happened to him.
Did he offer? He did not, says Bellino at third base. I think another thing happens too when that phenomenon occurs. Pitchers up here throw more strikes.
They're around the plate a little more often. They have better control.
Here's the 3-2. Ground ball right back to the mound. Sip will underhand flip, and that's the first time the Red Sox have gone in order tonight. Middle of the 7th inning in Houston. Red Sox leading at 5-0 over the Astros. Baseball Unnecessary is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. By the great folks at Sullivan Tire and Auto Service. And by Plain Ridge Park Casino, the official sponsor of winning. Here's the pitching line brought to you by Ace Ticket. Wright's been very sharp. 4 hits allowed over 6 innings. He'll get Gaddis, Gomez, and Valbuena here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Red Sox with 14 hits to Houston's 4.
Well, if Stephen Wright can have an efficient inning here in the 7th, he has a chance to get through 7 with fewer than 100 pitches.
The 2-0 will miss down low.
That was a fastball there.
Gaddis off to a slow start. Understandable, though. He did not play in a single spring training game, recovering from a sports hernia. Fly fouled on the right field line of the play.
Well, unless I'm reading it wrong, it looked to me like Stephen Wright just threw Gaddis 3 straight fastballs after going behind in the count 3-0. Check out that last pitch from Stephen Wright. Fastball. About 80.
3-2. Swung on and foul tipped. Just got a piece of that one.
It's another fastball. Stephen Wright has completely gone away from his knuckleball, just throwing fastballs to Gattis, challenging him. Not that time.
And he walks him. Nesson is a brand new site for car enthusiasts. It's Nesson Fuel, your new home for everything automotive, including exclusive driver interviews. Visit NessonFuel.com and follow Nesson Fuel on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram today. Carlos Gomez bunted his way on in the second inning. He has since lined out to center. Well, his helmet came off on that swing.
It's got to be a pretty wild hack if your helmet's going to come off. We saw that happen a lot with Hanley Ramirez last year, but now with the longer hair, his helmet stays on.
That'll go foul back off into the stands off the bat of Gomez. So he has a bunt hit, and he's taking a swing where he intended to hit it through the wall. Red Sox up 5-0, seventh inning. Up the middle, diving stop by Bogaerts to Pedroia, one on to first, and won't get the double play. But an outstanding play by Xander to steal a hit.
Yeah, it was just outstanding right there. Xander's going to do what he can on his end to try to turn the double play, but this play just takes too long to set up. Sweet right there. Look at the quick pivot by Petey, but too late down the line to get Gomez. I tell you, when you're hitting a $189 like Gomez is, and a play like that happens to you, you just think, I'm never going to get a hit again.
Here's Valbuena. He has struck out and taken ball 4. The Astros have struck out the second most in the majors. Carl Willis coming out now. Lane and Hembry now going to the bullpen.
Talk about how often this team strikes out, and last year we saw tremendous success from the Astros being a team that struck out a lot and hit the ball out of the park a lot. In fact, last season they were 73-46 when they hit a home run. Wow.
Valbuena has yet to hit one this season. That one darts down and in for ball 1.
And yet this year, in the 16 games they played previous to this one, they've hit 24 home runs, and their record is ugly.
Well, the strike zone beginning to move around a little bit here on Steven in this 7th inning. He's walked a man, and now he's fallen behind 2-0 on Valbuena. We walk back in the 5th inning.
98 pitches now for Steven.
And he has pitched such a fine game, a 4-hit shutout so far. A strike.
That's why these games get a little tenuous here towards the late going now in the 7th inning, with the Red Sox of 14 hits, yet only 5 runs. One swing of the bat by Valbuena makes this a different ball game, and a game you have to worry about a little bit.
Bunting, and that one up the third base line, but it rolls foul. I think with all the shifting that we're seeing the last couple of years, even from home run hitters like Valbuena, you're starting to see more bunt attempts.
It's funny too, because I don't see a lot of patience on the guys that want to bunt that way. There's nobody over there to field the bunt, and you don't want to just drag it. You literally want to bunt it hard. You want it to roll all the way up to third base. So nobody can get it. You want to make sure the pitcher doesn't field it. take your time and drop it down over there. You can walk to first. The guys they get a little antsy and they want to hurry things up. Look at him drop it down. He wants to hit it over there. Take your time. You can almost square around. By the time Bogaerts understands that you're going to try to bunt, he still can't get over there and throw you out.
Here's the 3-2 pitch. Lash foul to hang in there. Stay tuned for Red Sox Final presented by Plain Ridge Park Casino. TC and Jim Rice preview Clay Buchholz start tomorrow, and they'll have highlights from around the American League East. I think Steph is on his way to get some rest.
Yeah.
High bounder toward first base, right on the line, but it kicks foul and snatched by Wright. And Steph Curry, the NBA MVP, hanging around until the 7th inning to see his beloved Red Sox. You know, if Mookie hits for the cycle, he's going to miss it. You're going to have to knock on his door at the hotel a little later. Let him know if it happens. He's up 4th next inning. That'll be high for ball 4.
Well, Mookie's going to miss Steph's game on Sunday, too.
Yeah, he's going to be working. Time now for our poll question presented by People's United Bank. Steve, let's see what topics people can vote on to hear you talk about tonight on NESN Sports Today.
Well, so far nobody wants to see us chase a cycle from Mookie. The hit parade's winning so far. It's easy to talk about.
Text your answer to 536-536. Visit NESN.com/terms for the terms and conditions and privacy policy.
Surprised there's not a few more votes there for the effort Stephen Wright has given so far tonight.
Now Mookie chasing the cycle has now gone in front. So Wright to stay on here with runners at first and second and only one out. And Marwin Gonzalez has grabbed the bat and he's going to pinch hit here for the catcher Kratz, who went 0 for 2. And they're trying to jump back in it right now. Gonzalez, pretty good power, hit 12 home runs a season ago. Red Sox up 5-0. And in for strike 1. Gonzalez, a switch hitter from Venezuela, hit .279 in 2015. He is the resident utility man.
Anytime you pinch hit, it's a tough assignment, but I can imagine coming off the bench and then facing Stephen Wright.
There's a high fly down the left field line toward the corner, but a foul ball. So Wright with the upper hand, the count 0-2 on the pinch batter.
It's just not a fun assignment. Been sitting over there for 7 innings. Now I got to hit this guy. Nobody else could hit him. Oh,
stopped by hand again on the backhand.
Like a goalie.
Now the appropriate headgear. One ball and 2 strikes, 2 on. And the tempo of this one is slowed down drastically in this inning. Stephen Wright trying to get through at least 7 at 107 pitches. Play on at second, a timing play, but they will not get him. If you have a son or daughter who wants to learn more about baseball or the Red Sox, visit NESNClubhouse.com. It has videos, games, and a lot more. It's fun, free, and easy to use. Visit NESNClubhouse.com today. 1-2. Tap foul backward into the netting.
Talked about the many problems so far that are facing this team, the Houston Astros. As you look at guys on base now, so far this season they are hitting 174 with runners in scoring position as they have right now. .174. Gets worse when there's 2 outs. They're hitting $111.
And fans are pretty restless here in Houston after the success of last season. They were expecting a lot more than a 5-11 start.
Not the end of the world, 5-11, but that's not a good hole to have to dig yourself out of. Got to go on a heck of a winning streak just to get to 500. And as we've talked about before, it's fine to talk about being a 500 team at times. You got to go on a tough road trip, 10 days to tough cities, go 500 on that road trip. You might come out of it happy. But at the end of the day, to me, if you're a 500 team, you're not very good.
1-2, cut on and miss. That one just sailed on by him for the second out of the inning.
Clutch pitch right there for Stephen Wright. Watch it just dance away from Gonzalez. See you later. I can laugh up here because I don't have to try to hit it.
Altuve now has had a tough time tonight, and he doesn't have a tough time against many, but he's 0 for 3 with a strikeout, a grounder, and a line drive softly hit to short. And again, he's already hit 5 home runs off the mid of Hannigan, so the runners will both advance. Gomez to third and Valbuena into second on what will probably be a pass ball here.
Imagine the concentration level it takes to be a catcher in a game like this.
The 1-0 to Altuve is inside. That one almost got by 2. That is a tough assignment.
I mean, you can literally miss the ball with the utmost concentration on trying to catch it, but if you have one little lapse on any pitch in this game, and we've seen more than 100 of them, it'll eat you up.
Check swing. That one rolls by. Here comes the run trying to score. The throw home. The tag. He did not get him. And the run is in with another man down to third. Gomez diving home, and they're on the board. That makes it 5-1. And another one that got away. Another pass ball. Gomez diving headlong and safe. Valbuena down to third, 2 down.
All of a sudden this pitch is getting tougher to handle.
2-1 pitch. Now 2-2. That one stopped by Hannigan. What a challenging inning behind home plate for the Red Sox catcher. 3-2.
Doing all he can just to keep everything down in front of that. Make sure the ball just hits you and stays in front of you. Try to square yourself up and be soft.
And up top, ball 4. He walked him. That's the third walk in the inning. And let's see if John Farrell is going to come out and get him. He is.
Yep.
So it started to dance a little too much. And a run scores in the inning without the benefit of a hit. And so Wright, despite a really fine effort, cannot complete the 7th inning. 2 down in the 7th. We have a pitching change for the Red Sox on top 5-1. And we'll be back with more in a moment from Houston. Baseball on NESN is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. Beautiful night here in Houston. Red Sox leading 5-1, but making a pitching change now as Heath Hembree is coming out of the bullpen on in relief of Stephen Wright, who went 6 2/3. Just gave up his first run of the contest. So it's the 3rd straight outing to begin his season where he's gone at least 6. Did wind up walking 5 men, 3 of them in this inning, and 2 pass balls have been charged to Hannigan. Hembree tossed 3 1/3 scoreless innings in his debut on Tuesday night against Tampa Bay. He had to come on in an emergency capacity for Kelly.
Just got called up. Kelly goes down early, and he comes in and does an outstanding job.
Here's George Springer. He's 1 for 3 with a single. So you go from 76 to 84 miles an hour to 94 just like that.
Yep, that thing got by him in a heartbeat. Springer's a guy that can catch up with it, though. Very dangerous hitter in this situation with guys on base.
Pops a foul out of plays, down 2 strikes. Tomorrow at 3, don't miss Red Sox first pitch presented by Joseph Abboud, available at Men's Warehouse. Guerin will go 1-on-1 with Astros outfielder and Connecticut native George Springer, former UConn star.
This is a guy you got to pitch up in the zone if you want to strike him out. He loves the ball down.
He's been striking out a lot. They set up away. Tried to hold up. Did he go? He did not.
Oh, come on.
Tom Hallian said no.
It's a good pitch. Go up top right there. Looks like he held on to it.
Springer's been up 67 times. He struck out on 20 occasions.
Hit 29 homers in 2013.
Got a piece. And on at 1st and 3rd. Red Sox leading 5-1. Bottom of the 7th inning. Embry trying to put an end to this 7th. And he does. He strikes him out. Came back with a breaking ball to freeze him. Side is retired, so they get the 1 and strand 2. And through 7 with Mookie about to come up perhaps. Looking for the cycle. It's 5-1 Boston. Is proud to be New England's first choice for value and convenience, and for every Sox home run this season, Speedway donates $500 to Boston Children's Hospital. Stop by a Speedway store near you and pick up your Speedway rewards card to start earning points today. On to the 8th inning, Mookie Betts would bat 4th in the inning, and he is a home run shy of a cycle tonight. And if this continues this way, it'll be his last at bat of the evening. Brock Holt will lead things off and do it against a new battery. It'll be Will Harris, the right-hander, and Castro is the new catcher. Jason Castro to take over. Harris 0-1 with a 1.29 ERA, pitching very effectively in 6 games.
Cut fastball, big overhand curveball.
Brock 1 for 3, a trickler to first base, and White will flip to the pitcher. Close, but got him. Now Brock Holt was the last man to hit for the cycle last year. And this was one of the thrills of the season, starting innocently enough on June 16. We talked about the triple and how much fun it was to see him get that.
Here's the triple right here. We won't see the end of that play. Hit it into the corner. Bounced around in there, and then an Oppo home run.
Did that against the Atlanta Braves, who we will see next after this series. See him for 4 games. 2 in Atlanta and 2 at Fenway, as Hannigan takes a strike.
Think he's thinking about it?
Got to be.
It's in the back of your mind somewhere. I think that Mookie Betts hits a lot of home runs when he's not thinking about hitting home runs.
Fouled away by Hannigan, who's gone 1 for 3 with a single.
I think he's truly one of those guys that just tries to put a good hard swing on the ball and lets it go where it goes.
NESN looking for youth baseball and softball teams to be a live studio audience for NESN Clubhouse. Visit NESNClubhouse.com and click on studio audience to enter your son or daughter's team today. Eighth inning, 5-1 Boston. Trying to get this road trip off in style, and that one is outside.
Come on, Will. Come on, Will.
He can breathe a little bit easier the rest of this one.
He earned his money.
He did.
Went 1 for 3. Did a great job back there catching. It's not an easy thing to do, and he doesn't have a lot of experience doing it. And as we said, we went most of the day without having to talk about him at all. That's a really good thing that happens when a knuckleballer's on the mound. And Stephen Wright got a little bit tired there through the end. Maybe his ball was moving around a little bit more, got a little more difficult.
The 2-2 on the infield. Again, the first baseman White to go to the pitcher. Going to be a foot race, and got him on a close play. Couple of 3-1s to begin the eighth inning. Pitcher's getting a workout.
PFPs, he might be thinking it's spring training again, covering first base as often as he had to, and he got a late jump. Hannigan hustling down the line the whole time, but he can't quite beat him there to first. Harris forgot to cover at first. They'll talk to him about that.
Jackie Bradley now. He's gone 1 for 3 with a double. He scored a run in the second inning. Sox are up 5-1. They've not scored since the fourth inning, although they've had several chances since then. They've been on the verge of breaking this open on a couple of occasions. And Mookie is next if given the opportunity. In for a called strike. Harris, since the start of 2015, is fourth among all American League relievers in innings pitched, ERA, and opponent's batting average.
It's a hard combination. If you have that many innings, the ability to have the ERA and batting average against, probability goes way up.
Yeah, for a relief pitcher, one really bad inning blows your ERA out of the water.
Takes you a month to get it back down.
His ERA since the start of 15 is 1.85. Bounced up there to make it 2-2 on Jackie. Still looking for that first home run.
So it's a big overthrown curveball. So if you're a hitter, you think, well, shoot, he looked bad on that. Is he going to throw me a fastball now, or does he throw a better curveball?
Harris with a 2-2. And he gets him. He strikes him out with a 92-mile-an-hour fastball. The Red Sox go 1-2-3 as we go to the bottom of the eighth. 5-1 Boston. Game summary brought to you by Xfinity. Another good one for Wright. 6 2/3, just 4 hits. Mookie Betts is going to come to bat again, trying for the cycle. McHugh, a 19-game winner last year, lasted only 4 innings for Houston. Oh. And here's Correa to lead off the bottom of the 8th against Hembree. He's not made an out in this one. 2 singles and a walk. And the Red Sox do get Koji going in the bullpen. He did warm up yesterday, even though it sounded like he was not going to be available after the game. John Farrell said he would have pitched Koji if the Red Sox had the lead late, but only under that circumstance.
Never quite got there. Tied it up.
Tazawa and Kimbrel were unavailable, and apparently so was this guy, Heath Hembree. So it was a terribly short bullpen. William Cuevas, who took the loss in his major league debut, is now back in the minors.
It's unfortunate. That's not kind of came up, did his best, took one for the team, and shipped him back out. Barnes is unavailable tonight.
Off the corner. Correa with 3 home runs on the season. Excellent power from this young man. Lashing a foul. He's really become the leader of this team at the tender age of 21.
And there's been some rumbling around here with some of the slow starts about the possibility of changes being made already. Some younger everyday players. Kid named A.J. Reed down in the minor leagues that they like a lot.
Sox got 2 runs in the first and single runs in the second, third, and fourth innings. Houston's only run came in the 7th. An unearned run against Wright. Foul ball by Correa.
We talked about how inept the Astros have been with runners in scoring position and their ability to hit in that situation. They scored that run in the 7th and didn't get a hit. They didn't drive the guy in. It's a pass ball. Wild pitch that scored him.
The 2-2 to Correa. He got him. He froze him at 94 right there at the knee.
Well, that's some pinpoint control there too out of Hembree, just painting anywhere he wants. Look at where it sets up. Boom. That thing ran back just a little bit. It was no question that it was a strike. Kind of a tailing fastball. You see where Hannigan sets up off the plate and then kind of reaches back across the plate to get it.
So he gets his first man here in the 8th inning. Red Sox pitching has held Houston to 4 hits. Colby Rasmus is 0 for 3. He's lined to center, grounded to first, and flied to left. Nobody on base and a shift on with Pedroia planted in shallow right. And a strike. Embry's been impressive since the promotion.
Hey, he has. He's pitching like a guy who wants to make a lasting impression, not just, hey, call me up because you needed someone. I'll do what I can, then you send me back. How about call me up and I stay here a while?
Now, due up for the Red Sox in the 9th inning, if you're just joining us, is Mookie Betts to lead it off. Mookie has a single, double, and triple in the game. trying to become the 22nd all-time Red Sox player to hit for the cycle. Last year Brock Holt did it, but it is rare. That's in for a strike. Almost as rare as a no-hitter in Red Sox history. Red Sox have tossed 18 no-hitters. And it's a good ballpark to be considering that home run to complete the cycle.
Yeah. It fits right into Mookie's swing, doesn't it?
Pitch to Rasmus. He gets a piece of it, chops a foul. Tomorrow at 3:30, don't miss Red Sox Game Day Live presented by DCU. TC and Jim Rice preview Clay Buchholz start tomorrow against Houston. DCU, Digital Federal Credit Union. What can DCU save you?
Oh, right about the 7th. The pace of this game, as you mentioned, really has slowed down. Red Sox have 14 hits. That tends to slow things down, but it was whipping right along.
He wouldn't offer. Full count.
They were getting hits fast.
And Wright was delivering quickly.
You'll take a little bit of a slowdown at the end of a ball game if you still have the 4-run lead. You can play 4 hours and 20 minutes and lose.
Which was the case yesterday.
That's no fun for anyone.
No, that was deadly. 3-2 pitch, high fly, but that's going to go down the line, foul. Time now for the Geico Red Sox moment honoring the '86 Red Sox season. Their 16th game of 1986. The Red Sox would lose to the Royals 6-0. Charlie Leibrandt threw a complete game shutout for the Royals.
I'm sure I was watching that one comfortably from my seat at the end of the bench.
Was it always for you the end of the bench?
Yeah, I had a nice little spot right down at the end. Occasionally I got to play.
3-2. Oh, he got him.
Oh, he blew that one by him, didn't he?
94 again, down. Would have been a called strike though.
Yep. I mean, right there, you're either looking for something else or you just completely get fooled. That by you before you swing. Now, this is a guy who's had a pretty good season for them. One of the few guys in their lineup that's swinging the bat well with his 5 home runs. Just not catching up.
Now the rookie Tyler White. He's 0 for 3. He's grounded out twice and struck out. Lost the handle there on that breaking ball. It slipped.
Good thing that was a breaking ball. And you know, we've seen that. Seen guys get hit in the head already this season. But when it's a breaking ball and it flips up there, it's not going as hard.
Oh, he had a cut. 1 ball, 1 strike on White. The 240-pound rookie first baseman. He came in hitting .315. Red Sox have kept him off the bases tonight. Bases are empty here, and that'll be a ball. 5 runs, 14 hits for Boston, 1 run on just 4 hits for Houston.
Separated at birth.
White and Gaddis. Gaddis there on the left, who will bat next.
They have the same stance.
That one just missed. Another good pitch though by Hembree. It could have been called a strike. Adam Hamari said no there. So it's 3-1.
Oh,
right down the middle. 3-2.
I got to think White's up there thinking that Hembree's going to challenge him with a fastball right here.
He did, but down into the dirt, and he walked him. They have a base runner. 2 down in the bottom of the 8th inning for Houston. They're trailing by 4 runs. And here's Evan Gattis. He has struck out, flied out, and taken ball 4. It's a 4th walk issued by the Red Sox pitching staff in the last 2 innings.
That slows down the pace of your game as well.
Gattis, the DH, they bat him 6th. A strike.
Gattis reminds me a little bit of the old Atlanta Brave Bob Horner with his short swing. Massive power.
Flied into shallow right field, and Mookie Betts will come on. And that retires the side, and he's about to lead off the 9th inning in his bid to hit for the cycle. He needs the homer. 5-1 Red Sox. Mookie Betts to lead off the 9th inning with the Red Sox ahead 5-1. In the first inning he tripled. In the second inning he doubled. The 4th inning he singled. He has gone 3 for 4. And if he homers here, he hits for the cycle. He has driven in a run and scored twice. Dustin Pedroia on deck, then Xander Bogaerts. As he takes strike 1 from Gregerson, who comes out of their bullpen.
That's a pitch that Mookie likes to hit. Gregerson's the one guy on this team that's absolutely dazzling.
Quickly 0-2.
They've only got 5 wins. Gregerson has 4 saves and an ERA of 0.
Line shot, a base hit, and could be extras. That's going to roll right all the way
inside
to the wall.
park. Keep running, Mookie.
He's heading into second. On his way to third. Well, he's going to triple twice. And has his 4th hit of the ball game. That was a rocket right past Springer and Gomez.
Hey, I know down here in Texas, it's quick grass. It's a quick outfield. But when you hit a ball that hard that gets all the way to the wall, that's just an opposite field base hit. It goes all the way to the wall. And here's what he did all night tonight. There's first ball that he hit. Takes advantage of the play out in left field. He goes all the way for 3. Thought about going for 4. Then he breaks the wall in left field. Then they kind of put a shift on him, so he said, I'm going to go the other way. And then That last one was just an absolute seed. I want to see that one again too. Look at this. Man, a ball, look at how hard that ball is hit. You can't hit a ball like that and get it past the outfielder.
He did for his second triple, his fourth hit on the infield, snagged by Correa. That'll hold the runner at third. Pedroia is out, and Betts cannot advance. Dustin Pedroia has 2 hits tonight. 2 for 5. No RBI there. Xander Bogaerts will try and pick it up, which would be his second if he can do it. He's 2 for 4.
That's a good looking scorecard for Mookie Betts. Again, Mookie with a chance to score 3 runs today too.
Waved at and missed by Xander. He was not too sure on that cut. Sox trying to add another. They have 15 hits now to just 4 for Houston. A lot of smiles in that dugout tonight because of the bats. He chased it. 2 strikes now on Xander. And the 0-2. Right through the catcher. Here comes Mookie Betts to score another run, and the Red Sox lead it 6-1. So it's a 3-run night for Mookie Betts.
I love that part of it more than anything. He's the leadoff guy. His job is to try to score at least 100 runs during the season.
That'll be a wild pitch.
It's a tough ball to block right there. You're way off the plate. You're trying to do everything you can. Watch how far outside he goes to try to block this. And then because of the spin of the ball, it kicks back on you and went right through the wickets.
Mookie Betts 4 for 5, 2 triples, a double, 3 runs, and an RBI. Pretty darn good night for the young right fielder. He got the offense going in the first inning with a 3-base hit. 1-2 on the way. He attempted to check, and he did. Tom Hallion concurs. Red Sox are getting the left-hander Robbie Ross Jr. active in the bullpen. Two. He checked again. Ortiz on deck.
To me, that's always the best barometer to see how well Bogey's swinging the bat. If he's not offering on those pitches down and away, the hard sliders down to the dirt that he had so much trouble with earlier in his career, and last year figured out how to not swing at him.
Oh, up and in, and that one gets him. And here comes John Farrell. That one drilled him. And Xander Bogaerts has to turn over and get immediate attention. And where did it hit him as Brad Pearson is out to try and find that out. Well, you hope you got him on the hand or the wrist area. And I believe it did.
Well, a good thing, because that looked like it was going near his face.
But immediately coming out. So Xander has to leave.
Such a scary pitch up and in. Look at that thing just run the opposite direction. It looks like he's trying to cut that ball.
Ooh.
Goes the opposite direction. Looks like it just grazes his left wrist and then hits his right one.
So close to his face.
Yeah, that's what I was most afraid of when we saw it in real speed.
So the Red Sox will need a base runner.
Look at Xander. Look at the angle of his back, and then his head just kind of.
Chris Young is going to run for him.
Get whiplash falling like that.
Well, we'll get you an update if at all possible. Xander Bogaerts hit by a pitch. He's out of the game. Got him on a hand to the wrist. Did avoid his head, thank goodness. And here's Big Papi. David 0 for 3. Red Sox leading 6-1. Fouled at home plate to make it 1-1. Somerset Mass says, "I love you, Big Papi." Impressive to see so many Sox fans here in Houston, Texas, but you see that everywhere on the road.
There are Red Sox fans everywhere.
Ball and 2 strikes now on Ortiz. We're in the 9th inning. The Red Sox have added another run, on top now 6-1. Bounding ball to the right side. Altuve to go to second base. Out there on to first and a double play. Another hit from Mookie Betts, his second triple and 4th hit of the ball game. And the Red Sox are on top 6-1 to the bottom of the 9th. Red Sox baseball on NESN is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. Dave O'Brien and Steve Lyons with it from Houston. Red Sox trying to put a cap on a victory here tonight. A 6-1 lead over the Houston Astros. And a number of changes now for Boston. Robbie Ross Jr. is the new pitcher. Going after Gomez and missing high for ball 1. Young is going to take over in left field, and that means Brock Holt moves from left field to shortstop after Xander Bogaerts was hit by a pitch and forced out of the game. It's the second time this week Xander has had to come out of a game. Earlier this week it was because of that tweak of the quad, but he was right back in there the next day. Certainly hope that'll happen again tomorrow.
Yeah, it was very scary.
1-1 little looper toward right over the head of Pedroia and dunked down for a base hit for Gomez. His second hit. But just the 5th all night for Houston. And Valbuena will dig in next.
Heard a nice little story on the plane last night as everyone was getting onto the plane. I saw Mike Brenly, the bullpen catcher, who's the son of Bob Brenly, who's manager of the Arizona Diamondbacks and now the announcer for the Diamondbacks, longtime player with the Giants and other teams. Had this nice suit on. There's Mike right there. I said, man, that's a nice suit. Where'd you get that? He said, you know what? He goes, Hannigan bought it for me. I'm like, really? He goes, yeah. He said the girls that come down, there's a little company that comes down and offers suit making services for some of the guys. And Hannigan looked at Mike. He said, you have a decent suit to wear on the plane? He said, no. He goes, now you do. I think that's an awesome story of a guy.
Cool? Yeah.
And those suits are not cheap that they come down and sell down there. And Hannigan bought one from Mike. I thought that was really nice.
The one Mike was wearing.
That's what I'm talking about.
It was not cheap.
It was sweet, yeah.
A great looking outfit. Too high for a ball on Valbuena. You struck out, walked, and walked again. Houston has only scored the 1 run in the 7th inning against Stephen Wright, who's an unearned run. So he went 6 2/3, gave up just 4 hits, 6 strikeouts, and he is lined up for the victory.
Another outstanding start for him.
3 good ones in a row. Kimbrel is up in the bullpen. So the Sox get the closer active.
Hopefully just playing catch and won't need him right now. Robbie Ross working on it. Got to make sure someone's ready in case trouble presents itself.
With a swing and a miss there, he could not hold up. He strikes out, so there's 1 away. Jake Marisnick is going to pinch hit, so he'll bat in the 9 spot. And he becomes the 3rd man to hit there tonight for A.J. Hinch. Red Sox leading 6-1. Well, congrats to the Celtics. They knocked off the Hawks to get back in that series. Now trailing 2-1.
Good boy, Jake.
That pop-up will twist out a play for foul strike 1 by Marisnick. Very, very good defensive outfielder. He has a runner at first base and 1 down in the bottom of the 9th inning. In tight for a ball. Altuve on deck. Sox have kept him out of the hit column. That is not easy to do.
That goes a long way to helping you beat this team.
Backhanded by Hannigan. 2 balls, 1 strike on Marisnick.
Can understand why this team had such a great year last year. They have some electric players on this club. Altuve, Springer can be, Correa, Colby Rasmus off to a great start. Good young talent here.
But if they lose tonight, they're 5-12.
Goodness.
And they're asking a lot of questions. Inside for a ball. I was talking to some of the broadcasters before the game, and they were like, it's great on the one hand because baseball is relevant again because they went to the playoffs last year and because they spent so much time in first place. But now they have a lot of expectations on them.
Always tougher then, isn't it?
So the game has changed here in Houston.
A.J. Hinch trying to guide him through it.
Stanford man. Wild card, and they beat the Yankees in the wild card game. 3-2 is inside for ball 4. Well, the walks are kind of piling up these last few innings. Red Sox have walked 5 men in the last 3.
And John Farrell's going to have to worry about that a little bit. You see him pacing a little bit more out there. He's not going to watch a whole lot more of that. He's hoping Robbie Ross can do his job here.
Kimbrel's ready. That's the wave of the cap. So if John Farrell wants to bring him in right now, he can. He's going to stick with Ross here against Altuve. Altuve is 0 for 3 with a walk. Gomez at second. Marisnick at first. And that's in there for strike one at 95. Sox trying to salt this one away and get back to 500. A win would get them to 8-8. 2 more here in Houston. And then 2 in Atlanta. High fly, well hit right center. Long run for Jackie Bradley. Still going after it. He runs it down on the warning track. Gomez will tag up. He'll move from second to third. Jackie had to run all night, but he got it.
It's fun to watch him track those balls, especially from our angle here. You see the flight of the ball, and you watch the ground that he's making up underneath it. And he goes on a dead sprint until he realizes that he can catch it, and then you see gliding. I got it. Look at him gliding now. I know I've got it. Stop, turn around, get the ball back in the infield. You know the guy's going from second to third. No play there. Just make sure you get it back in.
2 down in the bottom of the ninth, and Springer the batter. He's a home run threat. Runner at first goes, and there's a line drive base into the left. That'll bring in Gomez. Marisnick down to third base. And that might be it for Ross here. Springer with the RBI, his second hit tonight. Here comes John Farrell.
Yep.
He's going to go to Kimbrel right now. So Houston trying to rally. They've cut it to 6-2 with 2 away. And the closer will enter this one. With 1 more out to get, we'll take the break. Red Sox 6, Houston 2. And we'll have more in a moment. Furniture is going to bat for the Jimmy Fund again this year. Bob will donate $1,000 to the Jimmy Fund for every saved game this season. Everybody saves at Bob's, the official choice for untouchable furniture value. Available in store or at mybobs.com. Red Sox ahead here 6-2. 9th appearance of the year for the closer. He's 0-1 with a .352 ERA. He inherits first and third, but 2 down. And Carlos Correa, very dangerous, about to step in as Kimbrel tries to end it. Correa's been aboard 3 times with 2 singles and a walk tonight. He's also struck out looking.
We know Kimbrel comes out of that pen as a maximum effort guy.
And his first pitch, runner at first breaks, and it's cut on and missed. 97-mile-an-hour fastball. Springer down to second. They will not award him a stolen base and his defensive indifference.
That's the part of the plate that Kimbrel tries to own. He's kind of a crossfire pitcher. Goes from one side of the mound to the outside part of the plate against right-handed hitters. At 98. Good luck.
Marisnik at third and Springer at first. A run in for Houston in the 9th inning. Jerk that one out of the mid of Hannigan, but the runners will hold. Kimbrel very quickly covering home plate anyway. And you can't make that final out at home plate there.
No, you cannot. This is a ball that maybe earlier in the ball game that kicks away far enough where you might try it if you're on third base. Well, we already saw Springer try to go third and get thrown out. That wasn't a smart play. It would be a bad play to end the game right here at home plate. Pins and needles right there for John Farrell.
Fouled back into the screen. So the Astros are down to their last strike.
Before yesterday's ball game, Brock Holt and Travis Shaw were playing catch, but they were both impersonating Kimbrel in his delivery, and it was pretty funny.
It's unique.
It's great. Shaw is a funny kid.
1-2 on Correa. Scooped by Hannigan.
Wow.
Tough play.
That's picking and grinning right there. That's a really tough play to make. Because when Kimbrel gets wild, he's all over the place there. He yanks a lot of his fastballs way outside. That was a breaking ball way outside. Then it can come back on the next pitch and absolutely blow you away.
That's the plan right now against the youngster Correa. Runners at second and third. Popped up, but that's going to go foul back over the net. It's been a big night for Mookie Betts with 4 hits, including 2 triples. He's the youngest Red Sox player with multiple triples in a game since Dewey Evans in 1974. Dwight Evans was 22 years old. Mookie's now 23. Kimbrel trying to nail this one down. Here comes the 2-2. Ground ball to short. Brock Holt has it on to first, and in time to end it. The Red Sox win it by a final score of 6-2. Most of the offense was early, but they had 15 hits in the game and knock off the Astros here in game number 1. Again, the final score at TC 6-2, and the Red Sox are back at 500. They take game 1 of the road trip.